The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
What day is it today?
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is?
It's Wednesday.
Guess what day it is?
Wednesday.
It's hump day.
Some TV news. I saw that ABC just unveiled the 24 men who will be on the new season of The Golden Bachelorette. Yep. It doesn't start for a few months, so by then it might be narrowed down to 20, man.
Disney has announced it will add 2 lounge areas to Disney World that will serve alcohol, including a Pirates of the Caribbean tavern. It will even feature Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow, even though Disney didn't ask him.
Coming back to work isn't always easy.
Back to work.
Work means stress.
Work.
Think about walking through that door and immediately dealing with 100 different problems and responsibilities.
Let's get back to work.
It's showtime. Well, thank you for tuning us in, by God. We're back up and running here on the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. You know, we took a couple of vacation days, which ended up being pretty solid timing because if you were listening last week, you know Josh wasn't feeling well. Well, by God, here we had these days that we already planned to take off, so everybody got to rest up. Now we're ready to roll, ready to try and dry hump a 3-day work week into submission. Although I hear that we're maybe not altogether healthy.
No.
As a team. So somebody said something about Ashley. And, big surprise that she went off to the doctor's office. Right, Josh?
Yeah, emergency room even. Or urgent care.
Urgent care
last night.
I can already hear the text messages coming in saying pics or it didn't happen. But here's what I heard, and Ashley can clear it up. Word is Ashley came away from her time off with a series of spider bites all over her little bottom.
Yep.
Do you want to explain that?
You were having sex outside in nature, weren't you?
No, I wish it was something cool like that. Yeah, I'm actually not even sure when it happened, but I went to Utah this weekend and did some of that hiking.
Oh,
super
God.
fun, super beautiful.
Looked miserable.
But I guess at one point I sat down on a bunch of spiders. Like we're thinking, me and the doctor are thinking they were like microscopic spiders.
You and the
I didn't know there
doctor
was
put
such
your
a thing.
You guys put your heads together to figure that.
Glad you guys
collaborated on that.
And I'm sure the doctor appreciated your input on that.
Yeah.
She was interested. She was like, did you see any spiders? And I said, no, I didn't see any, but maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Josh, you hadn't heard of the microscopic spiders?
No, I've heard of bikini spiders. I've heard of like daddy long legs, things like that, but never microscopic.
And they attacked your ass cheeks collectively?
Yep. First, when I saw the amount of bites I had all over my butt, I immediately thought, oh gosh, I have like something like fleas, bed bugs, chiggers. You know, when you get into water, that they usually stay in like really hot, humid water or whatever. And nope, she took one look at my butt and she said, yeah, that looks like spider bites, and then proceeded to pull up reference photos, which was the grossest thing ever.
Oh, I bet.
And so, yeah, she gave me some steroid cream that I have to put on my butt and some medication to take orally. So it's great. I'm having a great time. It doesn't hurt to sit at all.
You're going to be spider butt woman.
Yeah, spider butt. I'll tell you what. If your butt starts shooting webs, you might be able to make some money on OnlyFans. Well, actually, you know what? Who am I kidding? You can make money now on OnlyFans. So if there's anything like a buddy of mine, he sent me a picture of this giant spider in his shed, and he thinks it's a brown recluse. It looks very scary. And so he invited me to the bonfire he's having this weekend because he's going to have to burn down his entire shed.
Yep.
So if you have, if it's that type of attitude, we have to nuke Utah. That's it. It's got to go.
We got to burn it down.
We can't have Utah biting our friend's butt?
Josh, have you seen you're not you fear spiders, so I wanted to throw this at you again. I know we've talked about it before, but I wanted to remind you. Have you seen those barn spiders that can appear to be just like a perfect circle? And then when you get near, they pull all their legs out and scare. Okay. Anyway, so does it hurt for you? It hurts for you to sit on your butt cheeks?
Yes, quite a bit.
Because of all the bites? And you said that you're treating this with a pill? There isn't a cream that you're spreading on your ass?
I have both. So I have a steroid cream and then some medication I take orally.
Is there any risk you've been poisoned? Do you have days to live? Did they do a venom check or anything? I don't know what they do. Did they test your blood?
It was they're more focused on if I've had a fever or not. They said if it doesn't go away in 3 to 5 days to come back though.
Can you climb a wall?
No, I wish. I guess I haven't tried.
Do you have like any tingling spidey senses or anything like that? Are you picking up on all the people that are going to text to volunteer to rub that butt cream on you?
So you somehow sat down in a spider hole.
Yeah, I'm mostly angry because my boyfriend is totally fine. Like, why didn't they attack him or do something to him? Why
Well, maybe
me?
he didn't sit in the spider hole.
Stupid.
And they were protecting their queen or whatever spiders do.
There's so many. Like I
Did any of the spiders get after the?
No, and that was actually one of the first questions I asked the doctor was, all right, like, can this spread? Should I be worried that it's on the other side of things?
Did Wally check the beef?
Yeah, she said I should be good. She checked it out for me.
Well, that was nice of her.
I don't fully know what this means, but Steelers fan Jesus said he has spider nipples. Anybody know what spider nipples are?
I do not know what it means to be a spider nipple.
Maybe little tiny nipples?
I wonder if I have spider nipples.
Pull them out. Let's see.
I'm surprised the spiders didn't go after any of the sweet spots, you know?
Thankfully not. I don't know what I would have done if that was
they
the
had gone
case.
up in there, that would have been bad news.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not much of a butt guy, so if I was a spider, that's what I'd attack.
Yeah.
I would have moved a little north.
Well, I'm sorry about that you got bit on the ass by thousands of microscopic, deadly spiders.
I mean, how
Could be worse,
was
right?
this all external, I hope, or is there some internal stuff going on?
It's all external.
That's good.
Thankfully. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I don't know what I would have done if it wasn't.
I'm sorry if you already said this, but how did you notice? Is it itchy or somebody pointed it out?
Very itchy.
Ah,
yep.
that
And it
sucks.
was like the middle of the night, and we wake up because you feel a little itch, and I just, scratched real quick. Woke up in the morning, looked at my butt, and it was unbelievable.
Itsy bitsy spider walked up to Ashley's, and that's as far as I've gone in writing a new song about spiders and Ashley's bottom.
Could you have requested a suppository? I always do, no matter the condition.
I could have, I guess.
All right, well, Godspeed to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, sorry about your butt.
Speaking of our general health, where are my sleep apnea people in the listening audience? 651-989-9393. Text if you caught sleep apnea since it came to town, 10, 15 years ago. It seems like I never heard word one about sleep apnea until about 10, 15 years ago, and now every other person on planet Earth has sleep apnea, right?
It does seem like more and more people are diagnosed with that.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Text us 651-989-9393 and tell us, go ahead. Anything that you'd like to tell us about your experience with sleep apnea. The reason I bring it up, I've been having symptoms for a good decade or so, but never did anything about it.
Are two of the symptoms being drop dead gorgeous and hilarious?
That's two, but the list is long.
I've noticed those for coming on 30 years
You noticed that?
Yeah.
Coming off of me? That's two of the symptoms, but the list is long. Last night, I finally, yesterday afternoon, went and picked up the sleep apnea testing machine.
I'm glad you made up with those people, or did you go to different ones?
No, it was the same people. We had a problem getting a hold of each other. Oh, no.
It was pretty contentious.
I see what you mean. I'm sorry.
Years ago, you had some foul language, as a matter of
Yes. No, this was
that's just a symptom of sleep apnea.
Yeah.
That's not the Nick I know and love.
This was a completely different company. Sorry, I got confused by your question because I'm stupid. What Josh is
Well, you're not getting proper sleep. That's what it is.
What Josh is referencing was, 15 years ago or something, I went to one of these sleep clinics just to find out if I had sleep apnea. So first I sat down with the doctor. He asked me a million questions. And when the Q&A was over, he said, yeah, it sounds like you might have a touch of the sleep apnea. So he handed me the machine that you hook yourself up to when you go to sleep at night. And he said, bring this home, bring it back the next day, and we'll know for sure. Well, there was something so concerning to me about hooking myself up, the sticky things on the chest and the
I didn't know it did that.
Yeah. You have to put the sensors on your chest and a tube up your nose and something around your chest and a band around your waist to measure your breathing. Something about that 15 years ago really gave me the creeps. And it was just a weird thing. I can't explain it, but the time came for me to go CP9 eyes and hook myself up to this thing, and it gave me the creeps enough. Here's the thing. I've had heart problems since I was 20 years old, and something about feeling my own heartbeat is unnerving to me. I don't like to feel my own heartbeat.
Is that because of your heart condition?
Well, I just...
Yeah, I think the only reason I think it is because he had just said
because I just said, yes. So I punked out, and I never hooked myself up to the sleep apnea machine 15 years ago. I went back to return the machine the next morning, and I just put it on the desk in front of the front office lady, and I said, maybe I'll have to try this again some other time. I punked out, and I couldn't hook myself up, so here you go. Here's a machine back. And she said, oh, yeah, that'll be $300. And I said, what? Didn't you hear me? I said I never even hooked. And she said, no, it's in the fine print, blah, blah, blah. Just having the machine overnight, it's $300. And I said, you got to be, I'm not paying you. So I got this big argument with this lady, and I said, you know what? You people are ridiculous, fine. And I wrote out a check for $300, and in the memo, I wrote, what an effing ripoff. And I handed her this was a different company. Now, fast forward to yesterday. I went and got the machine. Last night, I did, with the help of my friggin' wife, I did hook it up, tried to sleep. See, here's a question I would like to ask the sleep apnea people who caught it years ago. How much sleep do they need on record to determine how much apnea is sprinkled in with your sleep? Because I only slept, you guys know how it is, I only slept maybe an hour 45, 2 hours last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, was it difficult to sleep with that on? Is that why, or just in general?
Just in general. You guys also know how this goes. It sucks trying to get to sleep when you're coming back to work. You know, you're out of...
You've already screwed yourself up, yeah.
So, a little bit... there was a little bit of the machine is, uncomfortable to sleep with, but most of it was just that night before going back to work after some time off is always difficult to sleep. Mm-hmm. So now this morning I got to turn it in and find out where I'm at, if hour 45 and 2 hours of sleep is enough for these doctors to measure and give me a determination.
I had a sleep, not a sleep study, but they had to watch me sleep for epilepsy, right? They put all these sensors on my head, and then you're laying down in a bed, and there's two dudes like in a elevated window above you that have to watch the entire night with the screen and stuff like that.
Hey, bro.
Were you able to sleep?
It took a long time to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because, of course, you're worried about sleep boners, sleep tooting, things like that. And you got a couple dudes just watching you sleep the whole time.
Sleep tooting?
Well, what if that happens? That could be very embarrassing to a guy.
I've been trying to get you to start to say farting for years.
Oh, that is a foul word.
There's something so unnerving about a grown man saying tooting. But anyway, yes, of course, my first experience with testing, and in the end, I never tested for sleep apnea. One of the options was, of course, spend the night at their joint there, and they'll keep an eye on you during the night. I passed on that. So, I mean, I'm kind of excited. Well, now, here's good news. A listener texted in and said they only had to look at me an hour. A listener says he only had to check out my results for an hour to determine, that I had sleep apnea and what they could do to help me. So hopefully what I have is enough for the doctors to determine that. I'm excited because I've put this off for decades, and maybe I might finally be able to avoid dying suddenly in the middle of the night.
What changed your mind? I don't know if you've told me.
Probably the fear of sudden death.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably just it. A year or so ago, I finally started to try to remind myself I have to do something about this. Because it is unnerving when you wake up gasping for air. I mean,
I can't imagine.
It's a helpless feeling, and I've had a couple where I thought, damn, that was a close one. So anyway, I'll let you know how it goes. I got to turn this. They don't mess around. They want you to turn this sumbitch in the next morning as quickly as possible. So as soon as we get off the air, I got to race over to that joint and hand them back in the recording.
That's nuts that they can figure everything they need in just an hour. I would think they'd need 8 hours of sleep, and even with that time frame, that wouldn't work for us because, I mean, I get like 2-3 hours of sleep at night.
That's according to one listener, that it only takes an hour. Now, the Brotherhood rarely ever steers us wrong, but that's just one listener who said it took an hour. Maybe I'll get there. They'll look at it and say, this isn't enough. I don't know.
And then, hold on, my really good sleep is from about 11 a.m. till about 2 p.m. Then I can really clock some hours.
I'll tell you
Seriously.
what, the next time...
That's a good point. Did you mention that to him?
What's that?
That during the afternoon is kind of when you sleep your best?
I'm guessing when I talk to a doctor, he's going to say, I didn't tell him that yet, but I'm guessing one of the first questions a doctor's going to have for me is, how come you only got 2 hours of sleep? And then I'll explain, well, I get 2 at night, 3 during the day, that. So I'll explain that to him, and maybe that'll alter, how they approach things. But I'll tell you what, next time you see my friggin' wife, tell her, number one, I hate her guts.
Well, that is impossible.
And secondly,
to hate her.
Ask her to show you the picture of me dressed up in the sleep apnea testing device.
I gotta see that.
Did you know, she does send me pictures of you sleeping at times. Did you know that?
Yeah, she watches me when I sleep.
Yeah.
Any sleep boners, Josh?
No, I have awake boners when I see him sleeping. Oh, you meant him. No, she's never taken a picture of his genitalia. But yeah, every once in a while she'll send me a picture, and it is an adorable thing to see.
That's so funny.
She's so crazy about me that she watches me when I sleep. And then there's probably some of you in the listening audience saying, oh, I get it. You are that interesting. She watches me when I sleep. She takes pictures of me when I sleep, just to piss me off, because I look just like a 1,000-year-old man when I sleep, and I think that's why she.
I think it's the way you have your arms. You kind of had your arms like crossed in front of you.
Sometimes
that's an old people thing.
I cross my arms over my chest like your cliche Dracula coming out of the casket type of thing.
That's exactly how I sleep. People are creeped out by it. It's like, dude, you look like you're in a coffin. You're just resting.
Yeah, it's kind of. It was very much like in a coffin.
My old man used to do. My old man used to wrap. He would lie on his back and wrap both of his hands around his own neck.
Oh, wow. Weird.
Just,
Isn't that how your mother died during childbirth?
Pardon me?
Isn't that how your mother died during childbirth?
Due to strangulation.
Yeah.
Anyway, next time you see my friggin' wife, ask to see the picture of me in the sleep apnea testing gear, because it is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Tape on your face, the thing up your nose, the sticky things on your chest. You have to clip some kind of a microphone to your collar.
Wow.
I had to wear a shirt while sleeping so the things could hang on the... You look like a crazy person that's about to be lobotomized.
Regarding my sleep study, eastbound at sundown, Jesus wants to know if I wet the bed at the clinic.
Oh, no.
That is a very good possibility, but I didn't.
Oh, that sucked.
That would have been tough. That's tough to bounce back from.
I'm excited to see how much you wake up in an hour, Nick. I've heard some crazy things from buddies that have sleep apnea, like 74 times in an hour or something like that.
Oh, yeah, 150.
Wow.
Yeah, people are texting in, and thank you. This is what I was looking for. People who caught sleep apnea during the sleep apnea craze of 2005 or whenever this started. And all of them are saying, yes, and I'm aware of this, they measure how many times you stop breathing. This guy actually says they measure how many times you stop breathing in the first hour of sleep to determine how bad your apnea is. Okay. Well,
I'm sure you'll find all that out today.
Yeah, I think they said they'd get back to me in a few days, but sure.
But I mean, like some of the things they're saying, right? Like, here's what to expect, that kind of stuff. My wife wakes up a lot to pee, but that's probably a little bit different.
I woke up one time to hit the head last night.
Is that common for you? I got a buddy that does every night. I'm lucky I don't.
Yeah, I do every night, and I get judged for it by my boyfriend. He says I'm like an old woman.
It's becoming a little more common, Josh. Usually
I think with age that's more common, right?
Yeah. Usually I get it out before I fall asleep.
Same.
To where right when I think I'm about to fall asleep, I got to take a piss. Every once in a while it gets me up in the middle of the night. But yeah, I mean, everybody's different. A friend of mine, when we were 22, 23 years old, sitting around having beers, just talking about nothing, a friend of mine says to us, there's 4 or 5 guys sitting around a bar, and he says, yeah, you know how, you wake up 4 or 5 times a night to take a piss? No.
That's a lot.
And everybody at the table said, no. And he said, what? You guys don't? We said, no, hell no. It's starting to happen a little more now that I'm getting older. But back to the picture that the wife took of me. So I'm sitting upright in bed. I'm covered in all of these sensors and whatnot, tape on my face, like I said. I said, you got to take a picture. This is so friggin' stupid. So she takes a picture, but she had to close in a little. She had to move in a little closer. Oh, and by the way, I was just in my underwears and, again, the T-shirt. Normally I wouldn't sleep in a T-shirt, but you have to in order to hang the gear off of your. So I'm just in my drawers and a T-shirt. And she kind of moved in a little closer. And I said, well, what are you getting closer for? And she said, well, I didn't want to get your bulge in the picture. So, the night ended with a compliment.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I thought that made me feel good as I faded off to sleep. She thought my bulge was improper or too obscene to share with the general public.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have a bulge as well down there, but mine is a hernia.
Don't joke around about that, Cubby, because then you'll get one.
That's true.
And that's some ugly action right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh. My wife actually has one that she's never really done much about. Got a little pokey right there.
Wasn't it the wrestler Conan that has the hernia on AEW?
Literal, legitimately, or is that?
Yeah, like he walked out from the stage, and I was like, "Oh, there he is!" And I was like, "Ooh, that looks like a hernia."
Oh, gross!
Oh.
Did Ashley and her doctor consult? Did they team up to consult?
The doctor and I talked about it, and we determined that, Wapple, that you're probably right. I don't have to watch AEW to see aging men with bulging hernias. All I have to do is go to my neighborhood bar. Because there's a couple of guys that, my God, they have just this massive growth hanging over their belt line, and their shirt doesn't cover the. Oh God, it's something to see. I have to be honest with you. It's a lot of fun, but also it does kind of dummy down your appetite.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to eat a burger over here.
All right, we got to get going again here shortly, but this is a big week around here at 93X. It's Metallica week. Everybody is coming undone for the big acid rock show coming to town this friggin' weekend. Friday and Sunday. Metallica over there at the new Metrodome. And we have your tickets. We do, in case you've been effing around and you didn't take the time or didn't have the... We've got your tickets. Got a couple opportunities, 1 or 2 opportunities today. And then again, we're having this bowling party on Saturday. Now, who's going to the bowling party?
I'll be there.
That's really the end of the list?
Well, I'll be out
I've had something planned for months.
I'll be out at Apple Ford Apple Valley on Saturday. So
Apple Ford Apple Valley.
They're having a big party out there, so I'm going to be out there.
Oh, so it's just me and you, Dana?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm going to be out of town.
As long as my picture still is on the wall for memory lanes, I used to hang out there and did some things I'm not proud of.
You've done a lot of things you're not proud of at a lot of places.
Yeah, kind of noticing that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just me and Dana?
Yeah, sorry, man.
At the bowling party?
Dana said sorry, man.
I think you should skip it, come to Ford with me, and we'll steal a couple of Raptors.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I thought everybody was coming to the bowling party. Are they paying us for the bowling party?
No.
It just keeps getting worse for you, doesn't it?
No, that's. I think our weekend events are free of charge.
What? I don't go places.
That's why I'm going to steal a Raptor and a Bronco. I'm a Bronco Raptor.
I'm not going to this without getting paid.
Yeah, there's no money involved whatsoever. It's just you can ask their tour folks questions. I'll write you a whole list of things I'm curious about.
So I guess join Dana Saturday. The place is called Memory Lanes.
Yep.
So you used to go there?
Yeah, I used to do Sunday night trivia there.
Yeah, I used to go there too. We used to play volleyball.
Wait a minute. You mean you hosted trivia or you just competed?
Competed.
How'd you do? I bet you're pretty good at that.
Yeah, we had a pretty solid team.
I bet you Wapple's not very good at volleyball.
Actually, I'm kind of decent.
I don't think.
I might surprise you.
So
bowling?
3 o'clock Saturday at Memory Lanes. You can join Dana as part of this Metallica bowling party. Like Josh said, the Metallica tour crew will be there. You can bother the hell out of them, drink some beer, bowl a few games. But here's something I just learned. If you show up to the bowling party, one lucky bowler will win what they call here snake pit passes to Sunday's Metallica show. Now that sounds pretty cool. I don't even know what that means, but I don't think they're going to call it snake pit passes unless it means something.
No.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get pretty close with those.
And you can get on our website and view all of the activities, is what they're calling it. You can go on our website and check that out.
And then Pantera announced a special performance tomorrow night at First Avenue. Actually, I got a text earlier this week from a number I didn't recognize saying, hey, dude, Pantera, they're announcing this show Thursday night. Do you have any interest? And I have no idea who it's from. It's an area code that doesn't belong to Minnesota. No clue.
Someone going to roll the dice and show up?
Yeah. I don't know who it is.
Might as well.
I didn't respond because I didn't want to say, I'm sorry, I have no idea who this is. So I just assumed maybe they got my number from...
Oh, come on. You got to ask who it is.
Yeah. Just say you got a new phone.
So someone texted you and said, would you like to go see Pantera?
It was more like, hey, yeah, something similar to that. I can't remember exactly, but...
I bet you it's
They're
another.
gonna be there.
It's a fellow radio dork that you met at a party or something. You don't remember them.
It could be, yeah.
So yeah, Josh is right. Tomorrow night, Pantera's doing a one-off special show at First Avenue. We can also get someone into that today.
That's going to be
Super
sick.
sweet.
Well, if we could get Zach Wilde in studio again, that'd be awesome. Maybe we'll have him come in. We'll have a pot of coffee brewing just in case. Last time he was in, he was double fisting beers.
I don't know.
I love the guy so much.
The first time around was so damn depressing.
It was depressing and scary at times.
Because he was drunk. He was drunk and he was sad.
And it was like an episode of Cops where he went through all the emotions. He was very lovey, then he was crying, and then he was furious. He was all over the place.
And that's not a small dude.
Oh, my God,
You
no.
know, that's creepy.
Zach Wilde doesn't scare me at all. Anyway.
Oh, the Zach Wilde of today does. The Zach Wilde back in his Ozzy days, not so much.
You're going back to the old...
The No Rest for the Wicked tour.
The nipple-high plastic pants.
Yeah.
And the Mike Tramp hairdo.
Yeah, we weighed about the same back then. Now he's doubled his size and muscle.
It's going to be a hell of a weekend. It's an acid rock, binge drinking, fist fight weekend. with 2 Metallica shows coming to town and a friggin' Pantera. Oh, God. I remember when I was a kid, I used to crank up Pantera in the basement, and then I'd just scream up the stairs to my parents. I'd say, "You don't even understand me! I hate you! I hate you!" And I'd turn it up louder and louder. They go, "What's the problem down there? You don't understand me!"
I'd actually like to go just so all those people that in the mid or the late 90s who attacked me and a coworker in our 93.7 The Edge van, so they can apologize. I'd like an apology from them because that's one time. You owe me some new underwear. I think I pooped my pants.
Why did the Pantera crowd attack the radio station van?
Because, we were The Edge, and we're playing the Cranberries and stuff like that, and we didn't play a lot of Metallica. You know how it was? Like, they'd send us to some of these shows that we didn't play, these, hard rock shows,
sure.
And then people would be upset. And it didn't help that the dude I was with was a complete idiot a-hole, and he was yelling at people. He's kind of getting the crowd even more mad.
Corporate radio rules?
Didn't throw that one out there.
I never got involved in those kinds of things. They didn't ask me to get in the van and go cruising around. You
hand out stickers to people that don't want them.
Oh, God, how miserable. But I wanted to attack our van at times because I hated the music so much.
I understood, but I'd still like an apology.
Oh, God, all right, we got to get going. Jesus. It's a hell of a deal. We're back on the program after some time off. We're going to have some friggin' fun. I think Randy Shaver's going to join us a little bit later. What day is it? Wednesday?
Yep. Mm-hmm. You know it.
Randy Shaver will be here. We got to take a break. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
We see money inefficiency OG around us all the time. We've got a few skeletons sitting out in the open, and maybe we need to broom them into the closet, if you know what I mean.
Nope, take that out.
What is...
Whatever you were going for didn't land right. Who's got a shovel and some lime?
Maybe you need to do that with your financial picture. I don't know.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Just reading through text messages over here. You ever do that, Josh?
All the time.
Reading through some text messages from our listening audience. By God, the brother and the sisterhood, good people. What I've learned reading through the messages, a lot of yous caught sleep apnea. I'm telling you, you got to wash your hands.
Sing the ABCs twice, you always say.
When you're washing your hands?
Yeah.
Yep. But a lot of yous caught sleep apnea, probably because you're not washing your... let's see, one more time, we'll go back to this. Saturday, Dana, and if they come up with some money here in the building, me, if they have some money, I'll show up too. We're going to head out Saturday afternoon to a joint called Memory Lanes for a Metallica bowling party. You know, Metallica plays Friday and Sunday. Saturday is just for beer drinking and carrying on. So we're going to be at Memory Lanes, I think, starting at 3 o'clock. Hanging out. Metallica's tour crew is going to be there. I bet you they've seen some things. And it says here, one lucky bowler will win snake pit passes. So this will motivate you to show up and hang out. One lucky, and you'll need that motivation if it's only going to be Dana. One lucky bowler will win snake pit passes to Sunday night show. All right? And I thought, wow, that sounds pretty cool. A listener texted in and said, it is cool. Snake pit passes, kind of like a VIP type scene. And they said, the listener, they call it the snake pit because at Metallica concerts, it's always all dudes.
Long line for the men's room. I looked up these snake pit passes on Ticketmaster, and they're going for $2,000 a pop. So this is a pretty cool prize.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Lick me down, up and down.
My God.
It's a lot of monies.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, real quick, Wapo, we're getting a couple text messages saying you just celebrated an anniversary.
Yeah, I did. Last Thursday, I realized it was my 12-year work anniversary here.
God, you're due for a raise at some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
Somehow you're making less today than you were when you started as an intern.
Ain't that the truth?
Holler at me when you get your feet wet, for Christ's sake. 12 years. Nobody cares. All right.
That's not true. People have been texting in.
They don't care.
They care.
The only people that cared was the listeners.
I know.
I don't think anyone from the company said anything.
Nick and I celebrated 25 years here, and they didn't know. I mean, somebody had to tell them.
Wapple told them.
Yeah, it was Wapple. Yeah, that's right. It was you.
Yeah.
Our 20th, they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anything. We've been in this building longer than anybody else. And people knew that when they started. Nobody said a word.
Yeah, it was funny because the GM sends out like emails, and I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna know and put me on there. Didn't see it on the email, and then on Friday I was volunteering, and no one said anything again. The boss or the GM.
Oh, for Christ's sake, I'll give you a cookie after the show. Jesus.
That's a big deal because Nick loves cookies.
Yeah, he does.
God.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
I couldn't.
And what have you done?
Nobody
All in
cares. Stupid idiot criminals. They aren't just known for their stupid idiot crimes. They're also known for making things worse after being caught. You know, they're too dumb to know when to say when.
Pride sometimes, right? That'll kick you in the butt. It'll get you.
You damn right, Cubby.
Respect.
Pardon me?
Respect.
You got to show respect.
You have to show respect.
A dude in Michigan. Listen to this. He goes by the name of Daryl Gerald.
That's unfortunate.
That's a fake name. It has to be.
That's funny. Daryl Gerald was in court last week, and he was almost off the hook. He was there for a minor trespassing case. I don't have any details, and it really doesn't matter. He was just about ready to walk out the joint when he decided to go off on the judge, just as the judge was about to adjourn like they do. Hilarious. He's just about out, and he has to pop off. Apparently, he shouted, "I'm tired of this state of Michigan." And I don't know exactly what he's talking about here, but you'll get the gist of it. He said, "I'm ready to leave as soon as possible. I could technically leave, and you guys could issue a warrant, and as long as I don't return, you can just kiss my ass." Kiss my ass, you long-winded son of a bitch. What movie?
Unforgiven.
Wapple, you should know this.
Tombstone.
Wapple, look into my eyes. What movie? You and I bond over this movie. Kiss my ass, you long-winded son of a bitch. 651-989-9393. Text me if you know that movie.
Oh. Is it Henry? No, it's not.
Old Henry. You're correct.
Oh.
Yes.
I've never seen Old Henry.
It's a great Western. Wapple and I have seen it. The rest of you haven't seen it. You should watch it.
Yeah, you guys don't have a life until you've watched it.
Is that right?
Yep.
I think I'm doing okay for myself.
No life whatsoever.
Are you, though? Are you really?
I'm really not.
Yeah, your nickname's Danel. You've got some work to do.
So dude's in court. He's about ready to, stroll out of there with maybe a charge of, a minor charge of trespassing. Instead, he tells the judge to kiss his ass. The judge didn't appreciate that line, and he hit the dumb bastard with 93 days in jail for contempt of court.
Well, I'm sure he learned his lesson at that point.
Oh, Cubby, that got old Daryl Gerald even more pissed off, and he started dumping F-bombs on the judge.
Uh-oh.
After each F word, the judge added another 93 days in the cooler. By the time stupid idiot Daryl Gerald was done with his little tantrum, He was looking at 558 days in jail, which is a little over a year and a half.
I could technically leave and you guys could issue a warrant as long as I don't return. You guys kiss my ass.
I'm going to tell you what. You don't come in here. That's contempt. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's 6 93s consecutive.
I like that his lawyer's like, dude, shut up. Just shut up.
What an idiot.
There's Daryl Jarrell right there, and the judge, too. I really love this story.
Imagine if it was Judge Judy up there. That would be a sight to see.
Oh, but she's already pissed.
Never saw it.
Well, you haven't lived a life then.
Yeah. What am I missing? If Judge Judy was up there, what would be different?
He probably would have got life.
She gets a little cranky.
She's always pissed off.
I like this judge.
You know, Daryl Jarrell doesn't look like what I thought a Daryl Jarrell would look like.
What did you think a Daryl Jarrell was going to look like?
I don't know. Kind of like run down, I don't know.
Daryl
seems
Jarrell.
put together.
Yeah, he's a put-together guy, obviously. But
He's got things going for him.
I do like this judge's style. You know, you want to come off cute? You'll friggin' pay for it. So long, sucker, he said.
That's so good. I mean, at that point, it's just being stubborn, right? After the first night, because in his head, he's going, why can't I stop doing this?
Yeah, I think we've all put ourselves in that position, haven't we, with a teacher or a principal or a parent where I know I have. I was just not willing to lose. I will get the last word in, and I don't care the consequences.
Yeah. I'm pretty decent at being willing to lose. Sometimes I just don't think I need the win, but I know I've been in arguments where I was upset about something, and halfway through I realized, oh, I'm wrong in this situation. Where at first I didn't realize it at all, and then I have to say, all right, you're right.
Nah, don't back down, Josh.
But I have to if I know I'm wrong.
I don't.
That is a humbling feeling, though.
Yeah.
That's the worst, especially when you're so sure of something, and then slowly it creeps up on you that you were way, way off.
It can happen.
Oh, yeah, Jay says, just say you had Tourette's.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you could try that one.
Oh, Steelers fan Jesus. It's like The Breakfast Club. Yeah, it was reminding me of a movie, and I couldn't think of it. That's right.
Oh, The Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
sure. The scene with John Bender and the principal. What the hell is his name? But yeah, he
just couldn't stop himself.
Right. Are you through? Not even close, bud. That whole schmear. 1985 Breakfast Club. Listener says, it reminds me of that Jerry Reed song where he says, 90 days, Jerry. You're talking about the song, when you hot, you hot.
When you're not, you're not.
Thanks for wrapping that up for me, Wapple.
No problem. Got you, bud.
You know, if I was a parent, and I got a chill up my spine just considering such misery. But if I was a parent, I wouldn't allow any of my kids to play chess. Too much scandal, too much sleaze.
It seems like that the last few years, doesn't it?
I wouldn't want my kids associated with such people. I'd push my kids into politics where the people involved are always truthful and respectful.
Yep.
Level-headed, too.
No egos.
Back to chess now. I mean, there was the butt plug scandal from a few years ago. I wouldn't want my kid keystering a butt plug to try to win a chess tournament. That's terrible.
There's not many things in life worth winning where you stick a butt plug up there.
Yeah.
If you don't remember that story, if you're brand new, there was a chess tournament a number of years ago. I guess the best way to explain it would be to use Josh and I as an example. I am playing in the chess tournament. Josh is my helper, even though you're not supposed to have one. So I'm sitting there playing chess, however the hell you do that, and Josh is watching from a distance. I have placed a butt plug in my behind with a vibrator in it, on it, however you. And then Josh, when he wants to advise me on a move, he hits the button and zzz, the butt plug goes off in my can, and I know which way to move that was the butt plug scandal in the chess world. There was a guy and his partner, and they were running butt plugs back and forth. I don't want my kids involved in that. Everyone should experience their first butt plug the way God intended, and that is while hammered and having intercourse with someone that you just met 20 minutes prior. That's, I think, how everyone
that's
should.
Your first butt plug experience?
That's how everyone should experience it.
I agree.
You know, someone that's not your wife or husband, a weekend thing. You're in Ely or something. You barely know this person. That's how people should experience. Here's the latest chess scandal. Now, granted, this year's story comes from Russia, where damn near everything is ass backwards and shady. But here it is. A chess player has been suspended after allegedly poisoning her arch rival at a damn tournament.
It kind of seems like poisonings over there are just par for the course, right?
Are they regular?
It kind of seems like that, where if somebody speaks out against the government, all of a sudden they have a weird condition that develops, or they accidentally fall out of a skyscraper or
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
The poisonings seem especially popular.
So this gal who poisoned her chess arch rival, she's also looking at some time in a Russian jail. The gal being accused of this silliness is called Amina Abakarova. She's effing 40 years old. She's been accused of trying to poison her rival, who is a 30-year-old person by the name of Umayaganat Osmanova.
Rolls right off the tongue.
That sucks.
Apparently, this effing scandal cut loose at something called the Dagestan Chess Championship back on August 2nd, so whatever, a couple of weeks ago. Security camera footage shows where the bad lady, Abakarova, calmly walked over to the board where her rival, Asmama was going to be playing. She walked over to where her rival was going to be playing chess. She then smeared, this is what they say in the story, she smeared potentially deadly mercury from a thermometer onto the board.
Oh, yeah, they say that's bad.
Yeah.
It was reported that the bad lady also previously asked people if security cameras were in operation in the building. Are those things on?
That's not sketchy at all.
What about that one? Is that one? Do you guys know if they're on? Are they working?
Which ones are fake?
She was told that they weren't working. So that must have given her confidence to do the
That's
mercury.
probably the right thing to say, don't you think, if you're ever asked? Because they're up to something.
That gave her the courage to do the mercury smearing. So, the nice lady, the good lady, the rival, she said she started feeling like ass after playing chess on that board for a stretch of time. She left on out of there to the hospital. Doctors found that she had been poisoned. The bad lady was arrested. She admitted that she wanted to, quote, knock her opponent out of the tournament. She also admitted personal hostility toward that lady who had whooped her ass a week ago in another stupid chess tournament.
Sore loser.
The lady who was poisoned she's fine now, but she had a little case of the Hershey squirts.
I did not know mercury gives you diarrhea.
I'm kidding. I don't know what happened. She didn't feel well for a while. Did not feel well.
She was a human thermometer for a couple of minutes. Anybody else's internet out, by the way?
No.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Mine's working.
Well, crap.
What the F is the internet? You know the story from my old warehouse days, man. We used to, why did I ever walk away from that job? driving the forklift, loading trucks, effing around with your bros, chewing tobacco, drinking beer in the parking lot after the shift was over, night shift, graveyard shift, mixing batches of ceiling texture and wall texture. That was the gig.
That sounds awesome.
We would, the plastic wrap machine. We called it a GoBot. This was back when it would. And we took the plastic, Josh, and we made a basketball out of it.
Oh, sweet.
And we would have spirited slam dunk contests in the 5-gallon buckets. We'd stack them up to the sea.
Is that bouncy at all?
No, you just
I wouldn't
palm
think
it.
so.
And just, we had a riot in the warehouse.
Wrap any buddies in that thing like a big clear mummy?
Oh, yeah. You had to wrap it. We put our naked asses on the Xerox machine. The bosses found it the next day. We had a great time at the warehouse. But there was a time we dealt with liquid mercury. Just a big vat of liquid mercury was one of the ingredients to this ceiling texture, wall texture, joint compound stuff that we were making at the warehouse. I was like 19 years old. We had a riot. And we were always told, you ever handle that mercury, put on the rubber gloves, put on the breathers, and we did. We had temps. And a lot of our temps were cracked, okay? A lot of our temps were just not all-together people. They were working one night so they could afford a big chunk of crack. And one dude walked up and he popped the lid off the mercury barrel and he said, "What's this?" And he dipped his finger in it and he went, "Oh," whoop, and he ate it.
Oh, no.
What?
And we all went, "Ah!" And he got taken off in the ambulance, and I don't remember if he lived or died. He just ate the mercury.
Was he vomiting?
He ate the mercury. He got taken away in an. I don't know. I didn't see him. But
Did he? Okay, you already answered the question, but
he ate it.
I would like to know why.
He ate it.
Yeah, he ate it, didn't he?
I don't know why. He was just a goofy temp.
You guys wouldn't bet me $100 to eat this mercury, right?
No, we wouldn't.
Apparently, yeah,
All right, I'll do it anyways.
Here's a hell of a damn deal. Tell me what you think of this. Says here a man was missing for 30 years.
That's a long time.
It is.
Yes. Where should I go with this? There's a way I got to go with this. Okay, I got it. Man was missing for 30 years, starting in 1991. Back in 20 plus 21, he reappeared, wearing the same clothes that he left in, and he had no damn idea what had happened to him.
Aliens.
Stop it. So, just like I said, this goes back a couple years. 20 plus 21 is when this guy reemerged. But this was recently brought up on some wacky podcast or something. Anyway, 30 years later, he comes back. Same damn clothes, and he doesn't know what the F has happened. This story is from Romania or some godforsaken part of the world. The missing dude, goes by the name of Vasil Gorgos. The story says he was 63 years old when he left to go on a short business trip. He was a cattle farmer. He often made trips here, and then he'd go there. But this damn trip, back, like I said, in 1991, he never came back. Knowing that he was due back the next day, his family immediately called police. They busted out a search team. Days turned into weeks, months, years, decades, no sign of Dinkus. The family assumed he was killed dead somehow. But then, like I told you, August 29th, 20 plus 21, 3 decades after he disappeared, here he comes wobbling back into town. Now he's 93 effing years old. He still had the same train ticket in his pocket from 30 years ago.
What?
They say a car dropped him off at his home. Folks say he looked interesting, if maybe this is the liquor talking, but it's interesting that 30 years later, his home was still his home.
Yeah.
But anyway, cops dropped him off at his house. People say he looked confused. The car raced away before anyone could ask the driver what gives. When he was asked where he'd been, he said, "Well, I've been at home." He underwent a thorough medical examination. Doctors said he was in good health. His memory of his family and his house and everything like that was sharp. But he claims he couldn't remember dick about the last 30 years or where he'd been or anything like that. That is shady as all hell to me.
I mean, I am kind of jealous that he doesn't have any recollection of the last 30 years because things have been pretty awful. So, that's kind of nice.
Well, that's what he claims, of course.
That's what he claims.
Yeah, that he doesn't have any recollection,
Come on.
If you walked out on your family, maybe that's what you'd say if after 30 years you get dumped by whoever left you.
Yeah.
Or whoever you left with.
Let's get the lie detector test out.
It's just so silly. And I dig picturing the guy getting out of a car. Where am I? Why am I here? Give me a friggin' break. We're not stupid. So there are theories. One of them, Josh already dumped on you. He decided to ditch his life and his family 30 years ago. Probably, that's not the word. I like the way they say this in the story. He decided to ditch his life and his family, possibly having taken a lover.
Yeah, he took a lover.
And now he wants to make amends with his family before he checks out. Another theory is that he spent the last 30 years in jail, but didn't want to admit this to his family. And then you got the crackpots who want to say he was abducted by aliens. Here's one. He was a spy who had his mind wiped after his service to the government.
I guess that would explain his taxes. He hasn't paid them for a couple of years.
You think maybe that's why he left?
Well, the
IRS comes after him now.
I was going to say the jail thing makes sense, though, because if he was wearing the same clothes and still had the train ticket in his pocket, they give you your stuff back after you get out.
After you get out of what?
After you get out of jail.
Right, that was one of the theories, yeah. That,
That's not a bad one.
He's wearing out what he wore into the joint.
Mm-hmm.
That's possible.
This guy is shady as balls.
That's my thought.
Come on.
I like to think he went on a 30-year bender and just had some crazy sex and a lot of drugs.
So if he left in 1991, he probably missed the debut of White Lion's Main Attraction, and what an album that was. They went back.
The Main Attraction record.
Yeah, the Main Attraction.
I love that record.
Me too.
Maybe he left listening to it.
You wouldn't leave if you heard it, Wapple. You'd stick around.
No, he's just playing it in his car.
This guy must.
You know what? Screw my family. This is all I need.
That's a song on the record. You're all I need.
Yeah.
This guy must think everybody in town and every member of his family is a moron. That he's going to walk back after 30 years and just play I don't know what happened. F you.
A lot of liars, that's how they are, right?
Yeah.
They're the smartest one in the room. Everyone else is dumb, and you can't figure out that they're lying. They're too smart.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to lie to people. And you shouldn't lie to people if you love them. And as Josh and everyone who bought that Main Attraction record knows back in 91, everyone knows. Love don't come easy. There comes a time.
That's a hell of a song.
Baby, you and me, gotta work it out. Mike Tramp knew how to do that vocal fry and that little gap in the, you gotta work it out. No one knows what we're talking about. And I don't care. Do I got time for one more? I probably don't. We probably should just move on because this next friggin' story is... Oh, I'll just give you a quick one here. Some clown broke into a porn shop / sex toy shop kind of a joint. You want to hear what he snatched out of the porn shop, sex toy shop?
Yeah. Yes.
For no other reason than to just hear the product names out loud and we can all chuckle like we're in 7th grade. The guy stole a $300 sex doll. Garbage. Really, honestly.
Yeah, if it's $300, that's so much money, but
It's
we
garbage.
know that the way sex dolls are now, you got to spend a couple grand to get a really good
That's
one.
just That's just the blow up one.
The stereotypical one.
These days, I imagine a $300 sex doll is just a blow up one they've been selling for decades with this look of surprise
You're
on
right.
her face.
You know why that blow up one is $300? Inflation. All right, that was stupid. God, that was dumb.
And it hurts. The $300 $100 sex doll hurts. Let's be totally honest. All right, what else did he steal? A double-ended dildo. Just in case he has some company.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone ever seen one of those in the wild?
In person?
Yeah. A double-ended?
No.
Yeah, we got one of the times we got sex toys dropped off at the station. There was a double-ended dildo in there that is now at my house for no reason.
I was going to say that disappeared.
Yep.
Have you ever used it?
No, I've used it as a weapon.
I was just going to ask, you been in a dildo fight? Because that'd be a good one, I bet.
Yeah, they fly around pretty fast.
I don't know
It's
that
fun.
I've ever seen one of those in the wild.
Yeah, I haven't.
I mean, I've taken my end and waited. Anyway, the guy also stole a stroking toy by the name of the Male Rose. He stole some condoms. He stole erectile dysfunction pills and male enhancement pills. He stole a vaporator vibrator? What the hell is that?
I don't know. Never heard of that
Let's
one.
take a break. We'll come back and tell you what not evaporator, sorry. Maybe I said it correctly. I can't remember now.
You did.
A vaporator vibrator.
You should call it a faporator vibrator. It seems more appropriate.
Yes.
We'll figure out what that is when we come back.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I actually started playing around with archery in junior high, right? I stopped for a while, and my son bought me a setup. I don't know if it was for my birthday or Father's Day or something like that. So I have it set up in my backyard, and I heard that qualifying for the Olympics is 77 feet, and I practice at 90.
That's Dr. Dre, and he says he wants to try and make the United States archery team in time for the 20+28 Summer Olympics.
I would have never imagined that Dr. Dre is in archery.
That was news to me.
Yeah, definitely.
What is going on with every West Coast rapper now is the number one Summer Olympics fan in the world?
It does seem rather new, doesn't it? The dude's going to be like 63 in 2028.
Yeah, he'll be a little bit of an older man at that point. Did anyone find out what it means to be a vaporator vibrator?
I can't find it. No.
I knew you guys would let everyone down.
I was thinking maybe it, but like it wouldn't be something you wanted. I was thinking like maybe it absorbs moisture, but you think that would be not ideal.
Oh, I found something. It might be a half vape, half vibrator.
What?
So it's a smokable vibrator.
Oh.
No way.
That's got to be what it is.
Yeah.
I like the sounds of that. I do. I don't even smoke. We were talking about some dude robbed a sex shop, and one of the items he stole was a vaporator vibrator, and we didn't know what the hell that was, so it's a dildo you can smoke.
Yep.
I like that. All right, the Twins are just straight up kicking the living hell out of the Kansas City Royals so far in this 3-game series. Last night's final finished up at 13-3. Everybody was knocking the ball all over the friggin' ball. The new starter for the Twins, Major League debut, Zebby Matthews. It's got to be the first ever Twin named Zebby.
Has to be.
Never even heard the name.
He looked fine. 5 innings. Got a few strikeouts in there. But they just bombed the Royals, and they have the first 2 games in the series. They wrap up the deal with a day game, noon today over there at Target Field. You're going to see Louis Varlin, Ashley's second-grade boyfriend, on the bump for the Twins. Randy Shaver ducking in here shortly for more. Till then, Josh's news report is coming up next.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930. Now ran by his granddaughter, Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
We see money inefficiency, OG, around us all the time. We've got a few skeletons sitting out in the open, and maybe we need to broom them into the closet, if you know what I mean.
Nope, take that out.
What is...
Whatever you were going for didn't land right. Who's got a shovel and some lime?
Maybe you need to do that with your financial picture. I don't know.
Find out more by searching the Stacking Benjamins podcast, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
In the parking spot, she was trying to tell people to get out of the way. She went over the parking bump, over the curb, and hit the glass, reversed, hit the glass again, reversed, hit the glass the third time. And then once she was in the taco place, she was reversing and running into all the walls, all their kitchen, basically just trying to destroy the whole place.
My goodness.
What's the problem here, Josh?
A 35-year-old woman flipped out. She was caught on video repeatedly ramming her car into a California taco restaurant. She was a former employee who apparently hadn't worked there for 4 years, and they have no idea what set her off.
Just destroying that taco.
She did. Oh, she beat that taco into oblivion. The incident happened at Taco Reyes around 7:30 p.m. Friday. When police arrived, they saw the suspect repeatedly backing into the establishment and ramming it. Here's what that sounded like. Ram. Ram.
That's good ramming.
Yep, more ramming.
She must not like this place.
Yeah, she does not like that place, at least at that moment. The suspect destroyed everything inside the restaurant before being taken into custody. Saturday, a member of the Taco Reyes ownership team said the woman who crashed into the restaurant was a summer employee 4 years ago and still has several family members that work at that location, including her mom, who's worked there for about a decade.
We do have so much love for the family. This is an unfortunate situation that happened, and our hearts break to her.
Yeah, they feel bad for her for whatever she was going
Was her
through.
mom in the store when the lady was ramming the taco?
It didn't say one way or another.
Did she make any kind of a statement?
Not that I saw.
Before, during, or after?
They believe the woman had some issues as of late, and they recalled her as a sweet and respectful young lady who left the restaurant on very good terms to pursue other opportunities. Police said that incident remains under investigation.
Yeah, you better investigate that sumbitch.
Yeah, she might need talking to. A DUI simulation at an annual police event got a little too real in New Jersey last week, sending multiple people to the hospital. Police on the Jersey Shore have been running a ride at the event for 20 years featuring a low-speed golf cart that's rigged up to simulate the experience of a drunk driver. You're not in it alone. A cop does ride on it with you. But things somehow went awry Tuesday when the cart was being driven by a minor. It veered off the course and crashed into a crowd of people, striking 4 adults and a kid.
Oh, no. My Lord.
A 67-year-old man with an extensive out-of-state criminal history is accused of setting a golf cart on fire near Mystic Lake Casino last week. According to the criminal complaint, Prior Lake officers were dispatched to a Dakota convenience store around 5:18 p.m. Tuesday and a report of a man who started a golf cart on fire. Security footage showed the man entering a large vacant white tent that was housing several golf carts in a nearby parking lot, and then flames are seen. He ran toward the convenience store before hiding in some woods where he was found by Mystic Lake security.
Man, you got to have a pretty bad round if you just torch the cart afterwards.
You just played over the weekend. Did you get that mad?
No.
At any point?
No, I'm not good enough to get mad at myself for sucking.
Then in Detroit, a man was caught with a gun when he drove a stolen go-kart to a gas station to unknowingly sell it back to its real owner. Detroit police said a go-kart had been stolen from a Family Dollar store. The original owner said an advertisement for the go-kart was posted on Facebook Marketplace by 24-year-old Donald Cummings. He arranged to meet at a Citgo gas station to buy the go-kart for $2,000. Detroit police watched as Cummings showed up in a stolen white van, tried to convince the other man to pick up the stolen go-kart at his house, but the man refused to travel with him. So Cummings left the gas station and returned driving the go-kart. When he got out, officers took him into custody. An arson in the middle of the night displaced 10 residents and at least temporarily 4 retail tenants on the second floor of an uptown building on Lake Street last week. Police say a 62-year-old lit the dumpster behind the building on fire, and the incident was captured on surveillance video. Probably about $500,000 in damage, according to the business owners. The criminal complaint said the man started at least 5 fires that night. As for a motive, the man said he likes to start fires for fun.
That's his hobby.
A 37-year-old Pennsylvania man is facing charges after shooting at people who confronted him about driving up and down the road while blaring music after midnight. He was driving back and forth, playing loud music between 1 and 3 a.m. Sunday. At one point, he parked his vehicle at a nearby church. One of the neighbors confronted him about the music and asked him to leave. But then the man blocked an intersection with his car, grabbed a rifle, and fired shots at the house and the victim's vehicle. Witnesses also said he appeared intoxicated, and they found an empty beer can in the road. He's facing multiple charges, including attempted homicide.
Before he flipped out, he just wanted everyone in the neighborhood to know that he rocks.
Yeah. Pumping out those jams. Couple of bangers he was playing after midnight.
I'm a rocker. What do you want from me, you know?
On Sunday, August 4th, police in Indiana arrested a 42-year-old man found punching a victim while chasing that victim down the road. His victim was a Toyota Prius. According to a police report, Marshall Guthrie was swinging at the hybrid vehicle while chasing it a little after 2 p.m. Sunday. 911 received a call about a reckless driver, and responding officers found a pickup truck in the ditch, still running and still in gear. Down the road, they found Guthrie, barefoot, attacking a Toyota. The driver of the Prius told police he'd picked up Guthrie, who was walking along the roadway. He was trying to help.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And he said Guthrie then suddenly reached into the center console, grabbed a package of fishing hooks, a tape measure, and a pair of glasses, and then bailed. In Guthrie's backpack, officers found what they believed to be several hallucinogenic mushrooms.
That's what happens when you try to be a nice person.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't be nice anymore, it seems like, to strangers.
I picked up a complete stranger. I thought, what could possibly go wrong?
A 50-year-old Seattle man was arrested after he threw various items, including a fish tank, onto a freeway last week. And then he later hit a Washington state trooper with a pole. About 5:20 p.m. Friday, the man threw items off an overpass onto the northbound lanes of I-5. Seattle police said one of those items was a fish tank, of all things. At least one vehicle was struck. No injuries reported, though. Several lanes were blocked off soon after.
When I came to looking at all the debris, just a number of different items. Like I said, the line bike, different other debris that was under the overpass.
A Washington state trooper tried to contact the suspect but was assaulted with a pole. He deployed a taser, but it was unsuccessful. Negotiators were called to the scene due to the suspect's uncooperative behavior, and a SWAT team later had to take control of the situation. Seattle police said the suspect was armed with a knife and a pitchfork.
Ooh. When I crack, I'm going to make sure the cops got to call everybody out. SWAT team, the negotiating team, the Swedish bikini team, everything. I'm going to make them. It's going to be a scene, Cubby, when I finally fold.
You don't want the rookie to take you into custody. A 43-year-old woman was nearly 4 times over the legal limit when she was arrested in Chaska after reversing into a police car Sunday. Chaska police responded about 6 p.m. to a dangerous driving complaint, with witnesses reporting an SUV swerving across lanes, driving the wrong way, hitting curbs, and even ending up in someone's yard. The driver pulled over, but then reversed into the squad car. After being taken to jail, her BAC registered 0.31%. Then a 57-year-old Candy Ojai deputy finds himself on the wrong side of the law after being charged with driving drunk, rolling his squad while on duty. The charges stem from a single-vehicle crash on the evening of July 18th. Prosecutors say law enforcement was dispatched before 6:30 p.m. A 911 caller reported that the SUV had rolled several times, was sitting in a field, and the uniformed deputy inside was unresponsive. A witness driving a semi saw a squad turn down the highway without stopping at a stop sign. The trucker followed that squad, noting it was all over the road, crossing the center lane and swerving onto the shoulder. It continued until another witness saw the squad leave the road, hit the ditch, and roll 5 or 6 times. 2 Minnesota state troopers arrived on the scene, finding the Explorer heavily damaged and resting on its side.
Troopers later noted after speaking with him that he smelled of alcohol, his speech was slurred, and his eyes were bloodshot and glassy.
He had to be airlifted for medical treatment.
Airlifted?
Yeah, drunk on duty. Charges have been filed against a 53-year-old Minnesota House candidate and his 50-year-old wife in connection with the theft of more than 240 signs. This is a weird one. The signs, all reportedly stolen from the Alexandria area, included those for political campaigns, real estate, as well as special events and advertising.
What the hell? What are they doing?
Yeah, I'll explain here in a second.
Hates garage sales.
That's That's what you would think, right? At first, like, oh, they're candidate, they're going after the competition or something. But that's not the case. During the investigation, a deputy spoke with the wife where she made the statement, if I put a sign within 12 feet of this property, by law, you as a person could come by and take that piece of property because it's in the right of way. She also stated, you can't even put a garage sale sign, a realtor sign, Kay. Them bitches gotta go, she said. Many of the signs recovered from their home were covered in black paint, and several of them repainted to promote his political campaign.
Oh, God.
What a weirdo.
So
they were stealing any sign they could get their hands on so dude could advertise his running for office.
Exactly.
Repainting them and writing, Donnie for mayor.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Basically just being cheap.
Yeah. Yep.
Good Lord.
How embarrassing. He'll win. That's my prediction. The Museum of Ice Cream's national New York City location is being sued for failing to warn people about the dangers of jumping into its social media famous sprinkle pool, while also promoting and encouraging visitors to dive in, even with the danger. The museum, which consists of a series of ice cream-themed art installations, created a reasonable but false expectation the sprinkle pool is fit and safe for activity, says the lawsuit. It accuses the museum, which has 4 locations throughout the U.S., of negligence, including failing to have adequate warnings about the dangers and risks of jumping into a pool full of sprinkles. The plaintiff, who went to the museum with his daughter in March last year, suffered severe and permanent personal injuries, including an ankle fracture that required surgery. Apparently, the pool didn't have enough sprinkles, so it wasn't deep enough.
Oh, that does sound awesome, though. A sprinkle pool?
Never heard anything like that.
Eat your way out.
I feel pretty silly going to the doctor and saying, yeah, I broke my ankle in a sprinkle pool.
I don't know if I'd dive into one, as an adult especially.
Uncle Scrooge style into the money bin.
You'd feel silly going to the doctor saying you hurt your ankle diving into a sprinkle pool. Can you give our listeners an update on what you're currently suffering from?
Spider bites on my butt.
Yep. You got butt spiders.
You had to go to the doctor yesterday and say, I have been bitten millions of times by spiders on my ass.
That's a humbling experience.
That didn't bother you?
The series premiere of Bad Monkey debuts today on Apple TV+. Vince Vaughn plays an ex-cop trying to get reinstated on the force by investigating a potential murder after some Florida tourists discover a human arm while fishing. Earlier this week, Vaughn received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, my God.
Today on Netflix, the docuseries American Murder, Lacey Peterson delves into the 2002 murder case in which 8-month pregnant Lacey Peterson vanished, sparking a search, which, of course, ended in tragedy. And on ESPN, live from South Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the Little League World Series. Oh, you're not interested?
No.
Oh, I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah, you do. I enjoy it.
I thought you actually liked that.
The Little League World Series?
Yeah.
No, it's nonstop aluminum bats.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't
I
like
can't stand the sound of aluminum bats on a baseball. It's like my skin crawls.
Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text WALK, W-A-L-K, WALK, to 651-989-9393 for your chance to see the special Pantera performance just announced for tomorrow night at First Avenue, furnished by Q Prime.
So they just upped and announced a few days ago, hey, we're Pantera and we're going to play a show at First Avenue.
Yeah.
And everybody
you
came.
can do that if you're Pantera.
A lot of folks have been coming undone over this.
They have. Yeah, that's exciting. That'd be cool to see.
And you've been invited.
Oh, yes, I have. Just like everyone else who wants to buy tickets to the show. Everyone's invited. And you can win tickets right now at 93. You don't really need an invite.
I thought you got a... Forget it.
Mila Kunis, 41 today. Halle Berry, 58. Magic Johnson, 65. Rusty Wallace, 68. Bob Backlund, 75. Steve Martin, 79.
It's a hell of a list.
Yeah, it is. I even cut a whole bunch out.
Who'd you cut out?
I can't remember.
What?
Well, ones I didn't think he'd care too much about. Although I did think he'd care about Little League World Series baseball.
No.
I think it's kind of cool. Happy belated birthday to coal-fired, steam-powered Jesus from Dad, King Nothing Trucker Jesus, and happy 37th to pooping in your shoes Jesus. That's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver
On the Half-Assed Morning Show. My fear is that he will come back in enough time to give us hope, and we'll like actually think we could do it this year again.
And then it doesn't.
And then it doesn't pan out.
I've seen every Super Bowl they've ever been in. What are we doing wrong? What gods did we piss off? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
I think we have some type of curse. That's the only thing I can put to it.
Go Vikings! Hey, here comes Randy Shaver now. Randy, you're breathing
morning.
all over the microphone. It sounds like
I am?
You were smoking a joint. Sounds like you were taking a big hit.
No.
Wow.
Don't take too big a hit.
I'm fine.
We got to cover some things this morning. Yeah, we haven't talked in a couple days.
Yeah.
Took a couple days off. What have you been up to, you hoe?
I have just been nice and quiet, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Going to a few high school football practices, just kind of checking things out. And worried to death about Josh.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I tore my meniscus. Oh, no, that's right. I had COVID. Somebody else tore their meniscus.
Same thing.
Took a couple of days off. And
that was rough.
It also just so happened that, Cubby was sick. So, we had some time to catch our breath, some literally, some figuratively. So there you go. It's nice to have you back, Randy Shaver.
Thank you.
What is this now? The Vikings hotshot rookie quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, he has to go ahead and have knee surgery?
Yeah.
Unfortunately so, yeah.
So crappy.
Ashley, you're the youngest here. Will you give him your meniscus for Vikings fans?
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that.
You have such an athletic meniscus, too.
Oh, yeah. Best there's ever been.
What the hell happened with this guy? Now what are they going to do?
I only watched one quarter, so I didn't see it happen.
He looked decent when he was playing in the preseason game, but unfortunately, he is going to be out for probably a good chunk of his rookie year. It doesn't sound like once he has surgery, doesn't sound like he'll be back until late in the year.
Oh, my God.
Here's what I read.
Very unfortunate.
Here's what I read. Vikings coach Kevin O'Conrad. He said
O'Connell
said the injury happened during. I didn't know they played a preseason game on Saturday.
Yeah, they did Saturday afternoon.
I was there.
Won. Woo.
Why were you there?
Dana was everywhere this weekend. I don't know what Dana was doing or thinking.
Too many activities. I'm good for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
You went to a preseason football game willingly?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Jesus balls.
Given some free tickets. My fiance is a huge Vikings fan, so decided what the hell.
Did you throw out the first pitch at the Viking game too? Or?
I took the ceremonial first snap, Randy. Yes, I
did. You took a knee for the team.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, I forgot all about that. While we were off, you threw out the first pitch at Target Field.
I did, yeah.
How did it go?
I didn't embarrass myself, my family, or the radio station, so I'll take it.
You didn't embarrass?
No. It was a little high and outside. TC had it in his mitt, but dropped it. He apologized to me when he handed me the ball. He goes, sorry, man, I should have caught that one.
I hate when they talk to you. You're not supposed to talk.
That's exactly what he said to me, too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're saying I'm the best athlete on the show, right?
I think
Wait
so.
a second. Whoa.
I'm willing to part with your meniscus then.
I think I got it over the plate.
Well, you know what? I'm throwing one out on Sunday, September 1st. So we'll
that's
see
going to be
who's
in the dirt.
throwing one out.
Hey,
Wow, Waffle.
Look at Waffle getting all cocky all of a sudden.
No kidding.
You enjoyed yourself, Dana?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was especially cool because I got to bring my parents and my fiance down in the field with me, so they got to kind of share that moment. It was pretty cool for them. So,
fun.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Explain. Okay, you already explained. Unfortunately, you're marrying a woman who is a huge Vikings fan. So she made you go to a preseason. Oh, my God. Is this going to be how it goes from here on out?
No. I told her from here on out she's on her own going to games. I don't need to go to, and especially preseason games.
That's just terrible.
It was.
It's just terrible.
It was actually a more exciting game than I thought it was going to be. The fans were it was packed in there. I was surprised at how busy it was.
A lot of suckers. And they charge you almost the same amount for a real game when you
do.
Yeah. Thankfully, a friend of mine was nice enough to give us their tickets, so I wouldn't have paid money to go, I'll tell you that much.
Many, many years ago, when I was dating my friggin' wife, maybe we were just friends at the time. I can't remember. We've known each other for 38 years or something miserable like that, and dated on and off, and then eventually she talked me into throwing my life away and
don't blame her
and marrying her. But many years ago, we were at a Twins game, August Twins game, and this was so great on her part. I really enjoyed this. We're sitting in front of these dorks who are wearing all their Vikings gear to this August Twins game. And, with the beads and all that annoying crap, right? And a couple of their friends come down the hallway, and they recognize, not the hallway, what do you call it, the aisle, and they recognize each other. Hey, how are you? So now we've got dorky Vikings fans running into other dorky Vikings fans at this Twins game. We're trying to watch the baseball game, and these people are like standing in the aisle. Hey, are you going to that preseason game next week against the Cardinals? And the other one's like, you bet we are. I'll tell you what, Dante Culpepper. And they're blocking our view of the baseball game. And my wife, my then girlfriend, now friggin' wife, she interrupts. She goes, oh, my God, the Vikings preseason game. How did you get tickets to that? Sit down. Trying to watch the ball game. So here's what Kevin O'Conrad said. He said the injury happened during this practice game over the weekend. Maybe this news has changed since yesterday, but it says here if doctors only have to trim the meniscus muscle or tendon or whatever that is, he could return this season, J.J. McCarthy. If it's a full repair, he ain't coming back until what they call here 20 plus 25.
Yeah.
Well, that's a damn shame for the young kid.
I have a feeling that once they get in there, they're not just going to do something halfway. I think they're probably going to do the full meniscus. So it doesn't sound promising. It's too bad. The kid, had a decent showing in his only preseason appearance, and the Vikings were counting on this guy to be a part of their battle for quarterback and everything else. So it's a tough blow.
My son and his buddy found out at the same time yesterday, and his friend cried.
Oh, no.
Oh, poor kid.
I was very uncomfortable. I didn't know what to... I said, well, it's all right. These things happen. He's an unproven quarterback. We don't know how he would have done.
What is wrong with people?
What are you doing? That's just tussle his hair and say, hey, it'll be all right, kiddo.
I was thinking it's about time to pick him up, isn't it? Let's call his parents. I was very uncomfortable.
Good Lord. Well, that's a damn... That's how she goes, isn't it, Randy Shaver?
It is.
Injuries happen. And, of course, in the intro there, Josh had to play audio of some Vikings fan mentioning the curse,
There's plenty of articles written on that yesterday.
We're cursed.
It's been quite a year so far.
So worn out. Some
bad things have happened.
All right, let me tell you a positive story about a quarterback, one that won't make children cry. Although, I do have to say that this is one of those stories where all I can think about is I don't know what I would do with all the vomit. It says here, Hellman's Mayonnaise, and no offense to the people at Hellman's or whoever makes mayonnaise, I do not like mayonnaise. It's not that I don't like Hellman's or whoever else is involved in the mayonnaise game. I want to make it very clear. I'm not trying to trash any particular company. I'm just not a mayonnaise guy. Hellman's has partnered with Tennessee Titans quarterback Will Levis to release Will Levis number 8.
I think it's Levis.
I know it is. Will Levis number 8. A fragrance based on the smell of Hellman's mayonnaise.
Oh,
no.
Sorry.
So like a perfume or what do you call it on the dude side?
Yeah.
Cologne.
Ew.
That stinks.
Egg-based cologne.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
That seems like a salmonella outbreak waiting to happen.
Yeah, it does.
Egg-based.
Yep.
That's great. Will Levis reportedly worked with Hellman's and an unnamed perfume company to develop this mayonnaise-scented fragrance. And the reason behind this, I don't know if anybody paid attention, but last summer, everybody was talking about Will because he suggested that he squeezed Hellman's mayonnaise into his coffee.
Oh, yeah.
That's like not super uncommon. I've heard people do that.
Yeah, I've heard of it too, unfortunately.
My grandma used to do that. It grossed me out.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that before. What do you...
If the caffeine doesn't wake you up, the mayonnaise will.
Or just run into the bathroom will.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now Levi's...
That's double the visit.
He earned a lifetime supply of Hellman's mayonnaise when he dumped that little bit of information on us. But then he clarified... As he should?
Yes. If you're going to support something like that, they should support you back.
Okay,
Did you hear that, Chipotle?
What are you talking about?
Here's a big fan
Did you hear that,
here.
Culver's?
Did you hear that, Devani's?
Good Christ. You would be a terrible businessman. Randy Shaver's mustard. Hey, I heard someone on the... You'd be giving it away.
Instead of Mills Fleet Farm, it's Josh's Fleet Farm.
Oh, yeah. I got my Fleet Farm sweatshirt on today. You can attest.
Anyone that gives you a little bit of a BJ, Randy's sending them free product.
Did you hear that, Guitar Center and Best Buy?
Now, Levi's later said he didn't actually drink coffee with mayo. How do you say it? Mayo. He said it was just a stupid thing that he found funny. But this is not a gimmick. You really can buy this mayonnaise scented fragrance. It's $8 a bottle. That's the jersey number this kid wears for the Tennessee Titans. Looks like it's sold out right now, but they're mixing it up, Randy. They're mixing it up. They're going to have some fresh buckets of this stuff available before you can say Jack Robinson.
That's pretty cheap for cologne, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
$8.
very cheap.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When's the last time?
I mean, I know it's an egg-based cologne, but even so. Wapple, you're egg-based.
Oh, thank you.
When's the last time anybody bought a...
No, Wapple's just baked.
Not wrong.
When's the last time any of the dudes here bought a bottle of cologne? Cologne.
The last time I bought a bottle, it was my junior year of high school. I I spritzed it on and then dropped it, and it was a $70 bottle of Drakkar.
Oh, no.
And Big Al, your buddy Big Al, was nice enough to bring me some Drakkar a few years back.
He brought it to you because he heard your story?
Yeah, he heard about it. He bought me some.
What does a bottle, a bucket, a barrel of perfume go for? What's your name over it? What's her name?
That's Ashley.
Ashley.
It's usually you can get like cheap ones for like $20.
Well, no,
but,
just the average.
I'd say about 30 then.
Oh.
So here, I just Googled it. Chanel. These are just the top sponsored ads. $110. Something called Black Opium, which Wapple's probably experimented with. That's $29.
I've heard of that. Yep.
Versace, $50.
Yeah, I was going to say like 54, I would say, is about...
That's such a weird number, Wapple.
Middle price for cologne. Yeah. I know, it is, but...
So $8
Look it up. It'll be 54, I guarantee it.
$8 is a hell of a deal. The problem is, though, you smell like the beginning stages of a tuna fish sandwich.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh.
$8 is a hell of a deal. If you're saying cologne and perfume are around 50.
Could you imagine BO with that mix?
Oh, no.
What did I say? I don't know what I would do with all the vomit. If one of you showed up with that sprayed behind your ear and we posed for a picture together or something and I got a whiff of that, good God. Yeah. Colognes. I never was big into that movement.
Even like in middle school or something? That was like a thing in middle school.
Number one, I never had any money for that.
Yeah, I didn't have any. I worked at a county seat to get a discount on some jeans and Drakkar.
Dude.
Look out, ladies.
Some of you young people don't even know what it means when he says county seat.
No,
I don't.
That was in politics.
Pardon me?
Thinking
Oh,
county seat.
Yeah, county seat, sure. I was on the board.
Yep.
We put in a roundabout in your neighborhood.
That's right, exactly.
That was you?
That's right.
Yeah, that was Josh.
Back in the day,
he smelled good when he's doing it.
The county seat was a hip spot to pick up your denim blue jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the hot spot.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
What did that become? Lucky, or it became something?
Oh, I have
that's
no
still
idea.
around?
Buckle?
Oh, the buckle, yeah. Is that still around?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you're right. I think you're right.
So, all right then. Twins are just beating the piss out of Kansas City. So far in this 3-game series, ended up notching a 13-3 final last night. How about Zebby Matthews, the rookie Twins pitcher, made his major league debut last night, went 5 innings, struck a few fools out. Randy Shaver, do you know anybody else named Zebby?
I don't. No.
Yeah, me neither.
There was wasn't there a Gopher basketball player, a forward, that played years ago? I want to say he played during the time of McHale, maybe after McHale. I think there was a Zebby that played for the Gopher basketball team.
It does not ring a bell, but I'd be happy to look that up in my free time.
Yeah, maybe Dana or somebody can look to see. This rings a bell with me. But, the kid pitched great yesterday if I got this right, he has gone from A-ball all the way to the majors in this one season.
Yes.
I mean, he has torn it up in just about every level of baseball to get to the majors.
Skyrocketed Randy Shaver.
Yeah, and he looked the part yesterday. Looked really good.
And the Twins knocked the Royals starter, Seth Lugo, all over the ballpark.
Who's had a good year. I mean, it's been very solid for them. I mean, you look at the guy's numbers. Yesterday's numbers weren't very good. But
Randy Shaver. Hang on, I have to interrupt. You're thinking of Zebedee Howell.
Zebedee Howell. That's who I'm thinking of.
God, that's good. And a couple of our listeners texted in.
Yeah.
Zebedee, I love our crowd. They just know every damn thing. They can always help us out.
I think they called him Zeb. It was Zeb Howell.
Zebedee as opposed to Zebby. But still, you were on to something, and not just on something. Yeah, Seth Lugo's had a great year. The Twins.
Yeah.
I mean, what did they have? 15 hits. 8 of them were for extra bases. Now, not all of those were off of Lugo, but a good amount. Wallner had 2 hits. Miranda had
Kepler
3 and
great.
2. Maxie Kepler and Kyle Farmer and Christian Vasquez slapped dong. So they beat their brains in again, and hopefully they can do it in the final.
One more game today. It's a noon game, and it's also being televised on MLB Network. So they're facing Cole Ragans, who's the best starter for Kansas City. Louis Varland, the boyfriend of Ashley, is on the hill for the Twins.
Right.
So.
The Twins have just been all over the Royals. They've won 18 of their last 20 games against the Royals at Target Field.
And Cleveland, unfortunately, has been playing pretty well, but today they're throwing Alex Cobb against the Cubs, and we saw what Cobb looked like against the Twins, and he was terrible. And the Cubs are pitching Jamison Taillon, and he's been very good for the Cubs lately. So the Twins, I think, have a good chance to pick up a game today.
All right, there you go.
Sitting 3 or 3.5 back.
3.5, yep.
Yeah, 3.5 back. So
we're looking forward to it. What is this now? Here's a listener, Air Filter Jesus, who said, screw the fancy colognes. Back to cologne real quick. He said, I've had a jug of Old Spice for the last couple of years. And it'll last a few more.
Yes, it will.
I love that smell of Old Spice.
Do you really?
Oh, do you love Old Spice,
You don't
Ashley?
have to get all the fancy stuff. Old
Say it
Spice
again.
is-
Say, I love Old Spice.
I love Old Spice.
Okay, where Air Filter Jesus closes out his text by saying, the girls with daddy issues really gravitate to me.
Hopefully Old Spice is listening and you get some free Old Spice.
That is ridiculous.
Girls with daddy issues really gravitate to me when I wear it, he
I
said.
like Old Spice. I can tell you, middle schoolers are still wearing cologne. My son and his buddies, they like to slather.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, I bet they just douse themselves in it.
Isn't that something?
Yep.
Way too much of it.
Oh, my God. It's out of control, Dana.
I used to think back and I'm like, all right, I don't think this is enough. All right, maybe a little bit more. You just basically taking a shower in the stuff.
Enough to make your eyes water.
Yeah.
Me and my bros never got involved in that. Well, we didn't really get into showering, I don't think.
I still haven't.
But
These days.
I mean, it was. I had cologne bought for me as a gift from past girlfriends and such. But Old Spice, yeah, that stuff lasts centuries.
Yes.
It does.
It's built that way.
It is. It's built to friggin' last.
Yeah.
I know I had a thought on cologne, and now I lost it. Maybe it'll come back to me.
Bartolo?
Bartolo.
He's my favorite cologne.
I think we mentioned him last week. Yeah, Big Sexy. He's always on my mind. Loved it when he played here for the Twins. Sticking with baseball here for a minute or two longer.
Yep.
So the Dodgers are playing in Milwaukee, and Mookie Betts, one of the top stars,
he's back
in the Dodger lineup. Yeah, he's back from injury. Of course, you got what's-his-nuts there, too, Ohtani. But Mookie Betts, he's been a pimp in the big leagues before anyone even heard the word Shohei Ohtani. Mookie Betts is again refusing to stay at the haunted hotel in Milwaukee during the series.
The Pfister. Yeah.
That's right.
Stay away.
The Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee, send in your jokes, which was built in 1893, is allegedly haunted, in case you haven't heard the stories. I've heard some stories, and they were quite fascinating. I walked by the joint last time I was in Milwaukee, and it gave me the creeps. I mean, not that I buy much of that stuff, but it was just so old-timey looking. Anyway, Betts will be booking a separate, or he already has booked a separate Airbnb.
Right.
Because he won't stay in the joint.
I don't blame him. If you can afford not to, I wouldn't do it.
He said he doesn't really believe in ghosts, but he wanted separate accommodations just in case all the stories were true.
Yeah.
He has stayed there in the past, didn't encounter anything from the great beyond, but he couldn't sleep out of paranoia.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. It's that fear that something might happen, or if I fall asleep, something might happen to me. So
the stories that I've heard were interesting.
Well, he's playing pretty well. He hit a home run, I think, in this series already, and they've won the first two of the series. So I think he's
getting his rest.
Yeah, he's doing just fine right now. It's great to have him back.
One of the stories I heard about the Pfister was an ex-twin was lying in bed. Tell me how you deal with this, if you believe the story. Lying in bed at the Pfister Hotel, sound asleep, and he was awoken to a ghostly face pressed up against his, and the ghostly face was screaming.
What? No.
Story I heard. The other story I heard was much more comical, where Ron Gardenhire came down the stairs. He had a nice night's sleep in the Pfister. Came down the stairs, and there were 3-4 of his players sleeping in the lobby because they did not have place. I can't tell you what happened to those 4-5 specific players, but they left their rooms and chose to sleep in the lobby instead of remaining where they were.
Yeah.
So there's always a story coming out that joint.
I find it interesting that Major League Baseball teams will still insist on staying there, even though it has that reputation, and some players will not stay with their teammates.
Well, I think it's because it's the fanciest joint in town.
Yeah, it is.
Sure, but, I mean...
And they want to have that luxury for their players.
Right. I get that part, but...
I don't know. Another listener says, if you want a cologne, gentlemen, with staying power, they say Aqua Velva.
Oh, sure.
How did they say this? Aqua Velva. Oh, okay. It has some staying power, like Old Spice. But this individual says, as far as how it attracts women, the one guy said the ladies with daddy issues come running for him when he wears his Old Spice. This listener says Aqua Velva brings the crazies out.
Isn't that the cologne where the commercials were like they slapped you in the face kind of a thing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, like an aftershave?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it woke you up or something. Or...
Slap your jaw loose with that Aqua Velva.
What is that smell? Oh. That's the smell of desire, my lady.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
It's a formidable scent. It stings the nostrils. Brian, I'm going to be honest with you. That smells like pure gasoline.
What is that? It smells like a turd covered in burnt hair.
Smells like Bigfoot's.
Turd wrapped in burnt hair.
The Bigfoot's D-line almost made me pass out in the movie theater.
Now, back to the Pfister Hotel, the haunted hotel in, how do you call that town again, Milwaukee. Can someone look this up for me? Because I don't, I'm not an 8th grader. I'm not on social media. Randy Dobnak tweeted out his story about the Pfister Hotel yesterday. Can someone look up the Pimp's Twitter page and see what he said?
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be kind of fun to try that out.
Yeah, I see what he said here. He said that he came back to his room after a game in 2020, and the latch was over the door on the inside, so he couldn't get back in. Like, it was locked from the inside.
Okay. I'm hearing you on that. Yeah, I can see the thrill of staying there, Josh, but I mean, what if it ended terribly? What if screaming spirits were chasing you around? I mean, you may never sleep again.
What if you get possessed?
What if you become possessed by a demon?
All these are reasonable arguments that I should consider.
I did stay at a haunted hotel in Hollywood, the Hollywood Roosevelt, or the Hotel Roosevelt.
I've heard of it,
in Hollywood, and apparently, like, people see Marilyn Monroe, Ernest Hemingway, stuff like that.
You woke up with your pants unbuttoned or something like that?
Yeah, that was a different reason.
Yeah, he went to bed that way.
Yeah.
I've heard about that
to himself.
Not
it was
uncommon.
A spooky ghost.
Yes, not uncommon.
Oh, no. Not the spooky ghost. By the way, what was that really, 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 really stupid movie that John Cusack was in where he spent the night in a haunted hotel? That was one of the biggest wastes of my time in the history of all film in my life.
Oh, yeah.
It was called like 2112 or
1408.
Holy,
yeah.
That is one of the worst friggin' movies.
Yeah, and the song keeps repeating, "It's only just begun."
Josh, what if it was like the American Horror Story season about the hotel? What if there was a chance that kind of stuff could happen? Then would you
Is that
stay
the one
there?
with the vampires?
That's the one with the dude in the latex. He's in the latex suit in this one too, with his the weird hand.
I don't know if I saw that one.
Oh, it was very, very traumatizing for people that have watched it. They know exactly what I'm talking about.
If it's the one where he goes after a guy on a bed with some contraption.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I turned it off halfway through that scene and I didn't finish that. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
I know.
That was terrible.
Oh, man. Okay. We were off yesterday and the day before. Does anyone have anything to say one way or the other about the Olympic Games now that they're all over with?
I'm sad breakdancing is out. What the hell?
Are you, Wapple?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with the men's competition.
I watched breakdancing. I finally got around to it over the weekend, and I thought it came off really stupid.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't understand how the scoring worked. And
That's
all
what
that.
I didn't understand either.
I'm not like Randy Shaver. Randy didn't want it in the Olympics in the first place, and I thought, why not? It's
no.
And I'm not saying it shouldn't return. Go ahead. I don't give two pumps if you want to have breakdancing in the Olympics. For Christ's sake, look at some of the other events that are in the damned Olympics. Stop trying to say it's not athletic and this and that, because look at the other silliness, some of the other silliness they have in the Olympics. All I'm saying is I thought it came off really dumb. It looked like two kids on a sidewalk. I was expecting more. Maybe my expectations were too high, but I thought it was terrible.
I hope they bring baseball back, and I hope they bring softball back. I'm a little surprised that, unfortunately, those two sports have disappeared from the Olympic calendar, and hopefully they'll come back. I think the next big sport, I hate to say this, but I think pickleball is going to be an Olympic sport.
Why do you hate to say that?
Well, I think there's some people that feel like it's overdone and it's kind of been...
It's burning itself out.
It's burning itself out. I don't see that, though. I see a lot of young people playing it. And I really think it's an international game. It's an easy game to play. I think you're really going to see pickleball be it may not be in time for LA, but I think it's going to end up being an Olympic sport before it's all said.
Wasn't softball and baseball and then flag football already going to be in 2028s?
Well, maybe they are. I just thought about those sports when I was watching breakdancing. I'm thinking, why are they not playing baseball and softball? Because those sports, A, they're great sports for the U.S., but B, those are international sports. Those are things that everybody's playing. So,
okay, a listener has texted in to say breakdancing was a showcase sport, just like karate in Tokyo. It was never supposed to stay.
Okay,
fair enough. How can karate not be in every Olympic Games?
Yeah, that's awesome.
You bet it is.
Everybody wants to watch that.
Well, hell yes. Oh, my word. That dude's dead. The dude died.
It's pretty obvious his head went 3 rows into the crowd after that kick.
You got to keep karate. All right. So, on the topic of breakdancing, and again, I know this is a couple days old, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it. This goofy lady who showed up and more or less, you tell me what happened here, because I've heard a couple of theories. Everyone's been talking about this video where at some point during the ladies' breakdancing competition, a lady named Rachel Ray Gunn. See, first off, she screwed that up. If your name is Rachel Gunn and you want a nickname, your nickname is Ray. So they call you Rachel Ray Gunn.
Yes.
Oh,
Your nickname should not be. So then it's Rachel Ray Gunn. You're stupid. You screwed that up from the get-go. She showed up and she was awful. She got 0 points. She just kind of rolled around the floor. Now,
it was like a crappie flop.
Yeah. The theories that I have heard was, number one, she just wanted attention. Number two, she was against breakdancing being in the Olympics in the first place, and this was her way of humiliating those who took it seriously. Which is correct? I don't know.
I heard the latter, so.
And she manipulated the qualification rounds. Her husband is on the Australian breakdancing team. So somehow she manipulated her way into the Olympics just to be a dick about it.
Yeah, very, very shady. She seems not cool.
I love the memes about her. God,
yeah, those are funny.
Yeah.
Oh
it looks like they'll put her in like a karate. They'll put her in a karate match. And then
that's my favorite one.
Yeah, and then I like the one there'll be a refrigerator on the other side, and it's like me at 3 a.m. in the morning sneaking to the fridge.
No way! I gotta check those out.
So, is that the truth? Was she just trying to be mean about it?
I don't know, because she's come out and said, she's not going to listen to the critics. I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
she said
really
she just
weird
does
situation.
her own thing, and it's her art, whatever that means.
Okay.
Well, you can keep your art.
I mean, if she meant to just make fun of breakdancing, can you imagine being that level of person?
No.
To manipulate
it's a lot of work.
Your way all the way to Paris, France from effing Australia just to show up and purposely embarrass yourself and embarrass the sport because you don't believe in it. I don't know. That's just one of the theories I heard.
Yeah, you definitely. How do you hate something that much?
Tom Cruise, big stunt. Anyone care? I mean, I don't care.
No. What is he doing? What is this?
All right. Fair enough. So long, Summer Olympics. We'll see you in a few years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Randy Shaver?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
It's going to be a big deal in L.A.
Oh, my God, it'll be a big deal.
I wonder if they'll have better living conditions and all that.
Oh, who cares?
Better living conditions?
Who cares?
Yeah,
I'm really burned out on that, too. Aren't you burned out on that?
The cardboard beds?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have better living
You're
conditions.
20 years old. Sleep on the friggin' floor, okay?
Yeah, you're probably not in the bed that long. You're partying your ass off.
I'm tired of hearing all the beds aren't comfortable, the rooms are small, the food's no good. Yeah. You're 20 years old. Get a bag of Doritos and sleep on the floor.
I will say that when LA does roll around, that probably a guy like Anthony Edwards is going to be the poster child for USA basketball.
Oh, that'll be pretty cool then.
I mean, the way that thing finished with how Steph just took the game over was amazing.
Oh, gosh,
it was
so good.
It was amazing, the finish. And Edwards did not play a lot in the gold medal game. He did play, I think maybe he was on the court for a couple of shifts, but really didn't play a lot. But you hear the conversation about him and how 4 years from now, likely he will be one of the people that you will watch that will play a lot for Team USA. So
I don't get to watch, or I just choose not to watch Steph Curry play that much.
Oh.
But, Nick, I finally understand what you mean about the mouth guard thing. Why is he always chewing on his mouth guard?
I'm going to go crazy.
Why?
Because
Get
it
that dude some
shows
gum.
because it shows how relaxed he is. It's all on purpose. It's all branding and imaging.
Right.
He wants. What? Do I even have a mouth guard? Oh, I didn't know. It's all that. That's the whole vibe he's putting out.
I will say though, the guy has earned everything that he's got. I mean, he is the best shooter ever in the game of basketball. And if you didn't think that, and then watch the Olympic gold medal game, the last 5 minutes of that gold medal game, that was amazing. What he did. It was amazing. He was so good.
NFL quarterback Nick Footlong Foles is officially retiring.
Oh boy.
But first, he's going to be in uniform for the Philadelphia Eagles during the home opener. By damn, he played there for a while. He won a Super Bowl there, brought him their very first Super Bowl. And boy, did he look great at times.
He did.
He's more interesting because of the Footlong nickname to most people.
Yeah.
But he's going to be there. They're going to honor him at their home opener. Footlong Foles. I always loved that nickname.
Wouldn't be a bad nickname to have, would
No.
it? Unless it was sarcastic, in which case that would be hurtful.
Brad Ryder unavailable today. Normally we talk to Brad on Wednesdays, as my buddy Phil would say, Wednesdays. But Brad's unavailable. I wish he was here for this next story. Brad likes to be very, very defensive of Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Bottles. You've heard it before. Brad is a Jimmy Butler truther, or at least he portrays himself to be. Jimmy Butler, now playing, of course, for the Miami Heat, has been banned from something called Hustler Casino Live Poker Stream.
Oh, what'd he do?
Hustler Casino Live Poker Stream. And that is because the owner of that place or thing or whatever it is called Jimmy Bottles, quote, the biggest a-hole he's ever met.
Oh, boy.
That ain't good.
The owner elaborated further, saying he was rude to everybody. I don't want him back. He was rude to the dealers. He was rude to other players. He was rude to the staff.
Well, sometimes those professional athletes earn those reputations, right?
Sometimes they do.
Yep.
Now, on the topic, let me see if I name any of your favorite. Oh, my God. Randy, did you just drag?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Did you just drag a yard of Velcro across the front, the face of your?
Sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't mean. I touched it.
Let's see if I can name.
I touched it.
I touched it.
Oh, no. Don't touch it.
Oh, my God, I touched it.
No.
Please forgive me.
Are any of these some of your favorite Hollywood big shots? People on Reddit talked about their negative experiences working with famous actors. Negative experiences working with famous actors. Blake Lively.
She's pretty.
Wah-wah-wee-wah.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Was called the most entitled, snobbiest, and rudest person to deal with. She threw tantrums.
Yeah,
That's Ryan Reynolds' wife, right?
Yep. I choose to not believe that, just because of how much I love her.
Yeah, he's so great. I can't imagine her being rude.
Dr. Phil has a no eye contact rule, just like Josh and I do here at the radio station.
Oh, isn't there? There's another artist. I think it's Jennifer Lopez. There's been rumors that she has the same thing.
Oh,
no
she doesn't
eye
strike
contact.
me.
How do you? What?
Jennifer Lopez strikes me as just the most down-to-earth, kind person ever.
Yeah, some weird stuff.
Where's my sarcasm horn? God dang it.
Oh, okay.
Where is it? Oh, here it is, right in front of me. Okay. Dr. Phil has a no eye contact rule, one of the nastiest, most self-absorbed people.
Yeah.
This was said about him on Reddit. People are talking about the negative experiences they've had working with. This isn't just some fan walking up, hey, J-Lo, this is people working with them.
Working for them?
For them, with them, however you want.
Gotcha.
Scarlett Johansson, very high maintenance, demanding things left and right.
You know, she does kind of seem angry a lot. Have you noticed that?
But she's so hot.
I don't think I've ever seen her interviewed.
Yeah, I don't know, she's got a bit of a chip on her shoulder, it seems at times.
You see that movie where she's the naked alien? Fair enough. Ben Stiller and John Cusack. I was just talking about that terrible John Cusack haunted hotel movie.
That's too bad.
Very entitled, exactly what you'd expect from them.
Oh, I wouldn't expect that from them.
I would from Ben Stiller.
Certainly not John Cusack.
Cusack, he seems like an everyman.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like a regular guy.
Apparently not. Russell Crowe, super arrogant and self-important.
That makes sense.
That sucks to hear.
Chris Pine, massive douchebag.
Never going to believe that.
What? Yeah, no, shut up, liars.
Which one is Chris Pine?
He was in the new Star Trek movie.
Never saw it.
Yep.
His dad was the captain on Chips. Robert Pine? Is that the guy's name?
You mean his real life dad was an actor on the original television show Chips?
Yes.
Michael Cera, huge a-hole.
Oh, that's surprising too.
He can't be. He's so just freaking nerdy.
I can see it.
Because he's too nice in public, you mean?
Kind of weird too. Gets off that vibe.
Tyra Banks legitimately will fire people if they look in her eye when passing in the hallway.
Yeah, I could see that.
Jeez.
How do you take yourself that seriously?
Who is James Corden?
Former late night host.
Yeah, late night host.
There's lots of bad stories about that guy.
Yeah.
He won't talk to anyone.
No.
Well, I wouldn't want to talk to him either, so I think we're good there.
You wouldn't want to talk to him?
No, I'm not a big fan.
You left Steven Seagal out the list. That's too bad.
Just so tired, Everyone rips on Steven Seagal for the last 30 years. I love that guy in his early 90s.
Oh, so many good movies.
Karate death movies. Those were awesome.
What's your favorite genre of movies? Karate death?
Yeah, he made a lot of them. Ever see Under Siege?
No, never saw it. See, that's the one Steven Seagal movie I've never gotten involved
that
in.
Shocks me.
Is that the one with the birthday cake?
Yes, I think that had the birthday.
I can't remember if it was one or two that had the birthday cake.
I'm a marked.
Oh, yeah, I guess I'm not sure either.
I'm a marked for death, out for justice guy. I never bothered with Under Siege.
Oh, I love that.
Screwface? I don't know no Screwface. One thought he was invincible, the other thought he could fly. What happened? They were both wrong. You know who checked out Randy Shaver? I'll tell you what, if we're going to swing from Wilt Chamberlain's jock, then we should swing from this guy's too. Wilt Chamberlain, of course, 100 points in a damn NBA game. According to what I read this morning, the only man to ever score 100 points in a college basketball game, a guy by the name of Frank Selvey, died the other day at 91 years old. I'd never heard of this guy.
I don't think I've heard of him either.
And I think that's very unfair, that every basketball season when we hit and this is no offense to Wilt Chamberlain, of course, but every basketball season when we hit the anniversary of his 100 points scored in 1962, whatever, when he was playing for Philadelphia, time stops, right? But no one ever mentions this Frank Selvey in 1954, playing for Furman University, wherever that is. I know I've heard of it.
I think it's out in Pennsylvania.
He scored 100 stinking points February 13th, 1954. He did play 9 seasons in the NBA after that, back when nobody gave two pumps about the NBA, I guess, except unless you were in Boston or Los Angeles. 6'3". He averaged 41 points a game in his senior season.
Dude.
Whoa.
Filling up that box score.
Definitely carrying the team.
Long before the three-point shot. So to score 100 points in a college game where the time is less than the pro game per quarter, that's pretty impressive.
Boy, the rest of the starting five must have been garbage.
Yeah. Or they whoever they played just didn't play any defense or was so terrible that
it
was just a runaway.
Maybe I'll look that up.
What was the final score?
They don't have that in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
100 points in a game. Good for you, Frank, and so long. We barely knew you, but you made it to 91. That's a pretty good run.
Yes, it is.
All right, Randy Shaver, we're going to wrap this son of a...
It looks like a 145 to 95, and it was Furman over Newberry.
Newberry?
What? Who's Newberry?
They did have a down year that year. I do remember that.
Well, they were new in 1954. Now they're wine.
They were just berry before that.
Now they're old stomped berry.
They were new buried.
He scored 100. His teammate scored 45. Friggin' Frank Selvey, you well-hung son of a bitch back then. See you later, Randy.
All right, see you tomorrow.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll be back in a few minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Did you know that Standard Heating opened its doors over 90 years ago? That's right. Tony Ferreira opened the doors in 1930, now ran by his granddaughter Claire Ferreira. Call Standard Heating and Air Conditioning today and experience the customer service and care that holds true today.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you tired of losing your fantasy football league year after year? Lindsey Rhodes, Emmy-winning sportscaster and football analyst, is your new secret weapon on the Believe Fantasy Football Show.
Watch the quarterbacks and his ADP. I think he has massive high-end upside.
Get expert analysis on player rankings.
Wide receiver 22 in fantasy, Cecil Shorts.
That kid can run, so I'm thinking he can have a breakout season this year.
And you can too by searching the Believe Fantasy Football Show. That's BLEAV wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
I'll never forget my old dad. The things he'd say to me.
What did he say?
What the hell are you doing in the bathroom day and night? Why don't you get out of there? Give someone else a chance.
On 93X.
That's the greatest drop we've ever made. I've been waiting on that one for decades. All right, you bastards. Welcome back to the radio show. Oh, we're up to about 8:30 in the morning or so. The Big Acid Rock Show that we've been talking about for effing 2 years is pert near in town. Metallica's playing a concert this Friday, and by God, even a second show on Sunday over there at the new Metrodome. With Pantera's in there somewheres, Ramrod VH1, what the hell's the name of that?
Five Finger Death Punch?
Mammoth WVH.
That's it, Mammoth WVH. Five Finger Death, with the opening acts and everything. The Big Acid Rock Show, Cubby.
Ice Nine Kills.
This is it. Time to show everyone in town how hard you can still go. Metallica's coming on Friday, and they're spending the weekend. And we've got a shot right effing now. All you got to do, text HOME, HOME, text HOME to 651-989-9393. That's our Luther Bloomington Kia text line. Text the word HOME to 651-989-9393 for your chance to win tickets to the show Friday. Plus, you're qualified for a signed Metallica lithograph poster.
Wonderful.
Oh.
The prize is furnished by Live Nation. Good luck. And hopefully we have some more chances before we get to Friday.
We sure do.
Lithograph poster. And now, we also got that bowling party on Saturday afternoon. Dana's going to be there. I'm going to end that. Right I'm going to end right there. I think just Dana's going to be there because I agreed to go, but then someone said they're not giving us any money for this. So I might not go. Dana.
Yes.
And a big bowling party Saturday starting at 3 o'clock. Memory Lanes. There's going to be effing members of Metallica's tour crew hanging out. Bowling, beer drinking. And that all sounds like fun. But when I read this morning, I thought, okay, this is really special. One lucky bowler, if you get a chance, to come on into the joint Saturday afternoon. One lucky bowler will win snake pit passes to Sunday's show.
And Dana, you looked up the price of these earlier?
Mm-hmm. $2,000
per ticket.
Yes.
Insane.
Well, I'd like part of that 2,000. So there you go. That'll be a fun event. Again, memory lanes. Was that South Minneapolis?
Yep.
Starting at 3 o'clock. Come on in. Say hello. Bother the Metallica tour crew, and maybe you'll find yourself with these unbelievable passes for Sunday's show. And always a reminder, go to our friggin' website. What do they call it? 93x.com if you want to know the full list of activities. It's finally on its way. It's finally about near town.
I think that's cool that they're doing so much while they're here.
Yeah. For Christ's sake, if you're going to hang around for a while, you might as well get some things done.
You're not just going to hide in a tour bus or a hotel or something.
And then, on a side note, just a couple days ago, whenever it was, Pantera decided to do a one-off show. Is it tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, First Avenue.
At First Avenue. We gave away some passes to that this morning. Maybe we'll have some more tomorrow. So Metallica and the little sideshow by Pantera. If you want in, remain listening. Don't go anywhere. And what's been crossing my mind lately is many of Metallica's biggest fans are my age, in their 50s. I wonder how many of these over-the-hill bastards are going to try and live it up like it's the Master of Puppets tour in effing 1986, and the effing wheels are going to come off. You know what I'm saying? Just drink and drug themselves into a pile of old hairy gelatin.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Yeah, especially the ones that are like, F it, I'm going to Friday and Sunday's show.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's going to be trouble come Monday.
Because they say it's a different set list each night.
You're not even going to sober up at all.
And then obviously different opening bands.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I go to a show, I'm always very thankful when there's seats. So I wouldn't be one of those guys.
That's
careful.
The best, Josh. When you get to a venue and there's chairs there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll take advantage of that for sure.
I was at a concert last week, and we were sitting in the seats, and I looked down at the people on the floor, and I realized how old I was. I was like, that just looks exhausting. Standing there the whole time, getting there early to get a spot near the railing or something. I can't do that anymore.
Dana, I've been there, and that was shortly after I complained about how long it took to park. That's how you know you're old.
Be careful, older folks. Try to pace yourself.
What show did you go to, out of curiosity?
Blink 182.
Oh, yeah, I heard they were good.
That's why I just said show and not I went to the Blink 182 concert.
Because you thought you were going to get an from Nick?
Yeah,
you got
exactly.
it.
So terrible.
I heard it was awesome.
It was a lot of fun. They put on a great show. They really do.
All right, I will likely be little help from here on out because most of the television shows I'm about to bark out loud, a great majority of them never saw it. Ranker.com asked its followers which TV workplace you would like to work at. And here are the most popular answers. Was that proper grammar, Josh? Which TV workplace you would like to actually work at?
That works.
All right. And here are the most popular answers.
Well, what comes to mind for me right away would be Dunder Mifflin from The Office. I think that'd be fun to work there.
yeah.
I didn't see it on this list.
Yes, it's there.
That's crazy. You think
Oh,
that
it
would be
is?
like
I
the
didn't
number
see it on the
one
list.
answer? Wow.
Oh, yes, it is. It's number 8. Okay. I also would say Princeton Plainsboro from House.
Oh, yeah.
A lot happened in that hospital.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You've been talking about that show.
Yeah, I've been
for-
rewatching it
I would
the last couple weeks.
I would like to work at the office from Mythic Quest.
Oh,
that's a good
dude,
one, too.
That would be
They do have a lot of fun there.
cool.
Yeah. Testing video games and stuff all
Heck
the time.
yeah.
That'd be fun.
All right. Like I said, I'm going to have very little to add. I think when I look at the top 15 TV workplaces where people would actually like to work, I think maybe I've seen 3 or 4 of them. So you
Well,
guys
one
are
for
gonna,
sure.
You're going to have to help me out big time. First off, tell me what is so special about working at Dunder Mifflin from something called The Office?
Oh, the pranks, it was a very funny show. I don't think you'd care for it, but I don't think it's your style of humor. But yeah, it was, they had like working with Dwight and everything
yes.
Dwight and Jim do to each other. They're all great.
That would be I would look forward to going to, I would never leave the office. Oh my gosh. If you could hang out with Jim and Dwight all day.
Okay, here's what else we have. The Pawnee Parks and Recreation Department from a show called Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
That'd be another fun one for sure.
I want to be April's best friend.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get to be coworkers with April Ludgate. That's not a bad thing. Aubrey Plaza is the actress's actual name.
Ashley, you and her would have a lot in common.
I know. I love that. Is honestly one of my favorite compliments that I get from people sometimes is that our personalities are pretty matched up.
I guess either you'd be best of friends or mortal enemies. One of the two.
Just absolutely hate each other.
Try to kill each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers.
Oh,
yeah,
of course.
That'd be fun to work at the bar there.
Mm-hmm. Kim's Convenience Store from the show of the same name.
Oh yeah, that's a cute little show.
I've only seen the commercials. I've never actually watched it.
I don't see the appeal that much, I guess, but
TV workplaces where a lot of folks would actually like to work. Now, I don't know this one at all. Like I said, most of them. Party Down. People would like to work at a place called Party Down from a show called Party Down.
It's the name of a catering company. It's a bunch of struggling actors who do a very bad job working on a catering gig. It's very funny.
I've never heard of that. I'm going to have to put that on my list.
With Adam Scott.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched it, and I don't think I liked it, but I continued to watch it for whatever reason. It was okay.
Dana told me I need to get into it because I would like it.
I don't know Party Down, but I do know that Randy Watson played Joe the policeman on the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama. That much I can tell you. The 99th Precinct from a show called Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That'd be another fun one.
That would,
yeah.
I would love to hang out with Terry Crews and Andy Samberg.
Oh, you could probably participate in those, what are those games that they do, Wapple, where they hide something and then they fight. It's like a scavenger hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I'd be good at that.
TGS is the workplace, the show 30 Rock.
No, that'd be another fun one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very, very funny show.
Tina Fey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tracy Morgan.
At times, just pure brilliance.
Yep.
Bob's Burgers from the television show Bob's Burgers.
Oh, I didn't even think about animated shows.
No, me either. I've always wanted to try all those burgers he has, too. They look amazing.
There's a book that you can buy that has them all.
What?
It has every single recipe.
You guys, I haven't lost you yet. I haven't. You know every one of these.
Here's one real quick. Here's one from a listener. Ramsay Bolton's Dungeon. Now, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you understand that reference.
I think Wapple is.
I will pass on that.
Yeah, I'm good on that one.
Yeah. I'll live vicariously through you.
Is that where they cut wieners off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and the dogs.
I remember seeing one of the episodes of Game of Thrones where someone had to go ahead and cut another guy's pecker off.
Oh.
All right. Cloud 9 is the workplace, and the show is called Superstore.
Yep, that would be fun.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe I'd finally get you there. Central Perk from the show Friends.
Nah, because the barista there, he seemed kind of like a jerk. What was his name?
He's a douche.
I got to tell you, up until a month ago, I could honestly say, never saw it when Friends came up. But I've been watching that show now when I fade off to sleep in the late mornings after we get done with this here nightmare.
Gunther. His name's Gunther, Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you don't mind, let me give you my take on a show that was popular 29 years ago. I've been watching it. It's, I don't know, it's okay. It's decent, what do they call it? Brain...
mindless?
Mindless, there's a word. Time suck. Time suck. It's a decent time suck as I'm attempting to fall asleep. The dude, and again, I know this is 30-year-old information. The dude who plays Ross is horrible.
I can't stand him. He was. I don't get it. Yeah, Ross. That was one of the in my mind one of the worst characters on TV.
And he was even horrible in Band of Brothers.
I have liked him in a couple roles that I've seen since. I have. I'm not going to completely trash. What's his name?
David Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer.
Supposedly he's a really good director and a nice person.
Okay.
But yeah, that character was tough to.
I'm not going to completely trash the dude altogether because I have seen some things that I enjoyed. But that character is unwatchable. It's just horrible.
Totally agree.
He's so frustrating.
So that's kind of like Ramsey Bolton and Joffrey, who played those characters. I hate those guys now, but it's not their fault because they played their parts so well. That's why I hate David Schwimmer in Band of Brothers, because he was such a prick and he was so good at it.
Well, so you're actually giving him credit then?
I think I would be, yeah.
Yeah,
For what? For both?
For playing such a perfect prick.
Yes, because I still hate him so much just because of the Band of Brothers role. I mean, he must have done a great job if I hate him that much.
Right.
Like the dude from Gladiator 2, the Emperor. He was
Joaquin Gladiator also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. There we go.
What do I do here? WNYX from News Radio. That's been so long. I mean, I don't recall.
Yeah, I forgot about that show.
We're going through TV workplaces that people would actually like to work. I watched News Radio 3-4 times, but it was a long, long time ago. Cage and Fish from a show called Ally McBeal.
Never watched that
Never
one.
even heard of that.
Oh, it seems like a you show, Dana. I never watched it either, but I would assumed you were into that.
No, I never got into that one.
Abbott Elementary from a show called Abbott Elementary.
I watched a couple episodes of that. It's really funny. I don't know why I haven't gone back.
Oh, it's so funny.
I think it just felt too much like Parks and Rec for me.
Maybe, but they're good, man.
Are they?
That was funny.
Yeah, isn't that the guy that was in Everybody Hates Chris?
Yes, Tyler James Williams.
Yes, I love that guy.
Just a couple more. I'm going to guess it's Merlot's Bar and Grill from a show called True Blood.
Do they call it Merlots in the show? I can't remember.
I've never seen it.
Never saw it.
Maybe it was Merlot. I can't remember.
And the Springfield Nuclear Power Plant.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe Patty's Pub from Always Sunny didn't make the list.
That was the only place I thought of right away.
I know it would be a little chaotic, but I think it would be fun.
Yeah, I would like to work at Planet Express from Futurama. That'd be a lot of fun, too. I'm Zoidberg.
I watched a lot of Simpsons, now and again. I mean, casual fan. Always liked Mr. Burns quite a bit,
Seems like a tough place to get fired from if Homer's lasted that long there.
He just eats donuts and gets drunk and, creates problems.
I just remember one line from Mr. Burns, and this is going to go nowhere, and I know it. One line from Mr. Burns, and it came while he was over there at the Springfield Nuclear Power Plant, and for whatever reason, I can never forget this line where Mr. Burns says, "Give them their tartar sauce."
Half-assed morning show.
I thought I told you never to interrupt me while I'm working.
On 93X.
Now we're doing all Young Frankenstein from here on out?
No, that was just two of them I had.
I can live with that. Let's, I don't know, maybe next time you ain't got nothing to do, Wample. Let's try Put the Candle Back.
I was going to do that one.
You're the best.
We could still do it, can't
Speaking of Wample, Josh said something off air. Wample, are you readying yourself to dump another pair of passes to Metallica on our listening audience before the show is over?
Yes, I am.
I'll
do it at the very close.
I told you. I said if you want to get to you got to listen to the. You got to keep listening. All right, we were talking about TV workplaces where folks would actually love to work. We went down most of the shows I never saw it. Most of them I didn't even recognize the names. Our listeners have gone kind of old school here with some of their text messages on the topic. And finally, I can recognize some of these shows, some of these television shows. Never saw it, but I know you guys touch yourselves over that Always Sunny setup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Patty's Pub.
A lot of folks want to work at Patty's Pub. One listener wants to be a fireman on Tacoma FD.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
What the hell?
The girl in it's pretty attractive, and it's the dudes from Broken Lizard that do Beer Fest.
Right.
Then I'd like to be a fireman on Rescue Me.
Oh, that would be chaotic.
The cab company from Taxi. Arnold's from Happy Days. Hell yeah.
That'd be a cool joint, yeah.
You know, Joni and her hot friends come rolling in there once in a while. Every weekend there's a marathon dance contest or a friggin', what else do they do? They jumping over school buses on a motorcycle. Arnold's was where it's at, for Christ's
Mr.
sake.
Miyagi could probably make you a pretty good bacon double cheeseburger or something.
Yeah.
A listener wants to work at the Boar's Nest on the Dukes of Hazzard. You hang out with Daisy all day and you fight with drunks.
Genius.
Working at the shoe store with Griff and Al Bundy.
That'd be cool.
Those guys were so funny together. Pawtucket Brewery from Family Guy.
Yep,
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
One of our listeners says, I want to work with Fred Sanford at his friggin' scrapyard.
Sure.
Another listener would love to work at South Park Elementary.
I don't know.
Never a dull day there either.
They take some abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's my role there? I want a very defined role.
Yeah, I do not want to be the
PC
counselor.
principal.
No.
Yeah, all the teachers kind of seem cracked out there a little bit.
This is
What's wrong
hilarious.
with Mr. Garrison? Totally normal.
Like I said, they went old school here, our listeners texting in on TV workplaces where they would actually love to work. This is great. Mel's Diner from the sitcom Alice. You got to be older to follow that. That was really, truthfully, Josh, that was an awful television show.
I actually never saw it.
What?
No.
It was hugely popular in the late 70s, and the acting was so bad, but I was drawn to it. I couldn't help myself. Mel was funny.
What about the Drunken Clam from Family Guy?
Oh, sure.
The restaurant, yeah. The bar they hang out at.
Those guys getting some trouble. And Jerome, he's so cool. I bet he'd be a cool boss.
God, he'd steal all of our ladies.
I'm guessing this is, what's his name again? Hey, Bobby, what the hell was the name of that?
King of the Hill.
Strickland Propane?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I have a final here, and then, God knows what'll happen next, but the listener says, I watched this one television show about the Bunny Ranch. Seemed like a decent atmosphere for a workplace. I did get hooked into that show. It was
so did I.
An
Me too.
HBO series. Well, was it a series? Docu-series.
Mm-hmm.
Docu-series. Maybe it was just called The Bunny Ranch.
Was that or Cat House?
Cat House.
Cat House. Maybe that was it. But it was filmed at the Bunny Ranch outside of Vegas. If you believed everything that you were shown on that program, and I didn't. But
what about the one where the mom wants her son to get his bean snapped? That
Oh my
seemed
gosh.
a little far-fetched. If that was real, that's very creepy.
That's exactly where I was going. If you believed all of what you saw on that show, and you probably shouldn't have, that was the scene where I thought, oh boy, they're really going for it now.
Yeah.
They had the supposedly hidden cameras, and one of the prostitutes is wearing next to nothing, sitting on her bed waiting for a customer. And here comes this lanky, dorky-looking, young, kind of like Wobble, and his mother is there to pay the prostitute to take his virginity.
Wapple, you were an older gentleman. I mean, older for, typically you might lose your virginity before 24. I know that's not everybody's story. That's somewhat common. Would you have ever gotten to a point where if your mom said, all right, we got to do something about this, I'm taking you to the Bunny Ranch, do you think you could have went through with it?
No.
What about if it was the old man?
I still don't think I could. I don't know. I don't think I could do hookers and prostitutes and stuff like that.
You make it sound so awful.
They're providing a service.
It's the oldest profession. Haven't you heard that before?
I don't know. I don't know why
it.
you got to come off like that. But what if the old man said, "Look, we'll double team one. I'll be there the whole way.
Definitely not.
I'll help you out along the way. I'll be within arm's reach
show
of
you
you
how
the
to do
entire
it, son.
time."
You made Dana choke on his water.
I will spit my water all over Ashley.
All right, this person has a death wish. They mentioned Vought Industries they'd like to work at. Are you crazy,
dude?
From the boys?
Oh, God. Yeah, you would not want to work there.
No, some terrible things happen to those people.
They're very corrupt.
What do you say we go to Las Vegas and double team a couple of broads? What movie? Heartbreak Kid.
Shout out to non-threatening. Oh, by the way, Ashley, how's your butt?
It's It itches.
All right, earlier Ashley was telling us she sat on a hill of microscopic spiders and she has little spiders. She turned into Spider Can.
There's
Spider
at least like 50, 75 bites. It's insane.
Yeah, you look like you're struggling a little bit. Sorry about the butt. Shout out to Non-Threatening Jesus from Backhand Bar Down Jesus, who made a brotherhood connection at the Cage the Elephant show, I was told. Happy belated birthday to Zelda Master Jesus and everyone else. Have the best Wednesday a handsome devil like you could ever have.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning's State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals that can save you thousands. Visit standardheating.com for all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.